This solar light made me glow all night. Come one with me, inwardly, take these limbs off me. Like a winter tree, flesh leaves, shed the body of his leaves like a breeze, buzzing like a bee. Infinity, my center being, infinity. I in the breathe, higher awareness, higher self-bliss, a ball of energy, pulling the chi from my pelvis, to believe, to be free and careless, to out of my body, the shell lift. Born, calm, gone, psalms, in the prayers to find my inward stairs, on the center chair, it's just there, nothing compares, how one become pairs, back to one, into layers, becomes clear, I'm not dead, but not alive, only inside, the end of vibes, snow leopard creeps upon me, but my surroundings changes to palm trees, prayer mantis and chanting, with a swing and standing, advancement, my head turns in 7 directions at once, but I'm still staring at the front, a journey to the shortest distance, sort of like a resistance, the rhythm on the sniffings, the cough is risen, absorb and listen, I'm orbiting, I glisten, for wisdom I'm giving, all in my system, till it comes out of me like a prism, I'm cringing, looking for that emblem, staring into the darkness inside myself, cosmic, calling for someone else, the voice just echoes, finally my soul let go, no more depressed soul, looking down the threshold, the heart begins to beat, I start breathing, the art I'm conceiving,
Ice, you hear me?
no more pyramids, but these are pyramids, changing the pyramid, this is a pyramid, this is the journey to seek Cairo inside my soul, to seek higher than what I was told, further than ancient Egypt, this is ancient Egypt, hieroglyphs, tattoos, believing, this is the journey to seek Cairo inside my soul, to seek higher than what I was told, further than ancient Egypt, this is ancient Egypt, hieroglyphics, exchange tattoos, non-visible attributes, drawn by lyrical paths, salute, drop the jewels without parachutes, the math coming through, love, joy, peace, long suffering, interrupting my being, erupt the scene, vigilance, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, deliverance, outside interference, joy and experience, the spirit go inward in, remove the 9,000-year cloth, I cough, arms coming across, holding the arm for months, and millenniums, spoke like linear tongues, counting backwards from infinity to the first century, all the way before BC, still can't figure me, from the song I did from the dictionary, I am the temple, I am the pencil, I am the missile, I am the symbol, all tremble, I am the peninsula, to the state of mind, I'm the inventor, to the greatest rhyme, the adventure, travel quasar time, I am the eye between the crack of dawn, I am the wing that broke day, I'm the pilot aboard the higher plane, I'm the conductor when you train of thought, when your tracks in your past, tunnel vision, wisdom, I'm your opposing team when you're in the zone, just to bring you home, who am I? I'm just a poem.
What up, Top? What up, y'all? Blessings and peace.
What's
Blessings
good,
and
Ice?
peace. You know, I had to come back with another one. You know, my brother, Man Cave Vlog channel.
Man, what's good, Ice?
Not much, man. Not much.
Man, we just gonna be free flowing, man. Oh, salute talk. I'm just now seeing the what's good, Big Rich.
Yeah, what's good? What's good, Big Rich? What's good, Obina? What's good, Clint? What's good,
Yeah,
Mike Larry?
one of the things I notice
Mm-hmm.
is, as men, we
Mm-hmm.
we have to be in a position where we are emotionally, dependent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I notice a lot of guys they're not emotionally dependent, you know. I
Emotionally
mean,
independent.
yeah, like I mean, look at the content they put out. It's always about game and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not against game, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like you were saying on the stream we did, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like guidance is more important than that.
Absolutely. You know, guidance. With guidance, it requires a responsibility. It requires accountability. Game doesn't. You know, that's the difference. As I said before, game really derives from, the curb. You know, as survival. You know, there's really no difference between, I would say, what you call like the hustler, the jack boy, the pimp, the Mac. You know, it's just they decided to go in a different direction. You know, the man's essentially the same, but they don't really understand how that works. What's going on, young high flyers? Like the stuff that you hear on here is not really game, and that's just my honest opinion. It's just being proficient in being a pussy pander. You know, because you look at it either way, you're still tricking you're still tricking your time away, and time is money. You're still tricking your energy away. Your energy is money. You're still tricking away your money. See, your time you're not going to get back. See, it's all about
Yeah,
you trying to do
exactly.
things to cater to the criteria of this woman. So you become this high level guy, right? Or you become whatever these guys are talking about to basically fit into the criteria of this imaginary woman, this unicorn that doesn't really exist. Because in all actuality, women do not want men of that caliber. They can't deal with men of that caliber. They're eternal children. They would prefer to deal with something that's not a challenge. A dusty, a nigga that's in between jobs that doesn't really want to work. A guy that, it's a lab project. You know, that's what guys think.
Exactly, because of like a woman will rather you physically beat the ass than intellectually beat the ass. I think that's
Talked about.
not. I don't think that's stuff that's not really talked about. Like one of the biggest things with females I notice is when you intellectually kick the ass, they can't take
Mm-hmm.
it. Salute young high flyers too. They can't take that intellectual ass whooping. Like because at a certain point, their argument is gonna get weaker and weaker as it goes on, but yours is gonna stay like level headed and consistent. You know, like when guys say don't argue with women, no, don't yell and scream with women. There's a difference.
Oh yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll debate a chick until she walks away and runs. Like it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. You know,
Absolutely.
so
It
I'll
goes
be
back.
like,
Okay, I'm sorry, bye.
it goes back to like you just have to know yourself. If you're the type, if a chick says something and you're just gonna yell and scream, then it'll be wise for you not to get to no arguing with a chick. But if you're someone who's calm, cool, and collected, regardless, oh salute Black Life. If you're a guy that's
What's going on,
calm,
Black
cool, and
Live?
collected, regardless, you know,
Oh, that's key. See, when you when
yeah,
you
like
get upset and you start
it's
yelling,
easy, bro.
huh?
It's easy, man.
Oh yeah. You know what the problem is though, bro? When a guy starts yelling and screaming and there's shit like that, then she's got you emotional. And it goes back to what I was saying. Is either you're the master of the conversation or you're subservient to somebody else. So you just became subservient to her, and that's an energy thing. And once you do that, you basically submit it to whatever she's got going on. She's got you on the emotional roller coaster instead of the other way around. See, the thing
Exactly. Like, you know, I think we as men were powerful. Like
exactly.
we can't beat women emotionally. We can only beat them with logic, because it's not a weapon that they're naturally born with. You know, men could beat women with logic. You know, so either way, I would suggest you just have to know yourself. Like, self-actualization doesn't make you into like this stoic man that has no weakness. No, it's just about, you know, knowing yourself. It's about knowing your limitations. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind debating with a chick, but once it gets too illogical, I walk away. Like, seriously, I can handle some irrationality. You know, she's a woman. It is what it is. She's not gonna be rational. But when it gets to a point, always use logic and never emotions. I disagree with that. Because real talk, you can stage emotions. You know, sometimes you don't have to beat a woman with logic. Sometimes you just have to pretend. You know, why you think guys have quote unquote game? You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Guys invented game because logic couldn't get through to women. But generally speaking, logic doesn't get through to them. They're hard headed. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, a guy who beats her ass, she could deal with a guy who physically beats her but not intellectually beats her, because the intellectual part makes her feel stupid and she has to blame herself. You beat her ass physically, she can blame you. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, they don't. And another thing too, bro, a lot of guys have never been in a position where a woman has actually feared their knowledge, intellect, or their stature as a man. A lot of guys never been in that position.
That's
So
true.
when you hear guys say that, you know, all these women want the bad boys, that's not true. Like, I had a chick that was a blood that caught feelings for me. 2016, she was a blood. She gave me a lot of game, you know, as far as how she would set niggas up, who's a mark. Like, you feel me?
Exactly. That's their whole scheme. See, if you look at from what happened in the garden, it still plays out to this day. Now the women run on game. Now their game is based on deception, and I challenge a lot of guys to think, because they say, "Oh, women are all evil," whatever like that. No, see, a lot of their deception is actually innocent because it's heaped in shame. If you really knew who she actually was, you wouldn't like her. See, to understand a woman, you're not going to love her, but you know, to love a woman, you're not going to understand her. So you have to kind of pick and choose. And my guy said, "Oh, I could do both." Not really. See, I understand women and I accept them who they are, but as far as me, generally, liking their company majority of the time, no. It's just like anything else. It's a tool, for service or
Exactly.
some form of leisure or hobby. But the thing is, it's just like anything else. Malted scotch is great, but too much of it is bad for you. Weed is great, but too much of it is bad for you. Gambling's fun, but too much of it is bad for you. Got to keep that in mind. Do things in moderation. Deal with women in moderation. Deal with a woman that's in front of you in moderation. She doesn't need to know everything about you.
The thing about women that a lot of guys don't understand is all women really have is pussy and manipulation. That's all they really have.
Yeah.
Like Patrice O'Neal was saying, if you don't have a pussy for 2 months, What will you do?
Mm.
And the audience was quiet. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think Top shared it a few months ago, that Patrice O'Neal clip.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to show you that, and this is gonna sound messed up if I say this, but
Go ahead,
if
say.
every man's dick was soft for the next like until January 1st, women would lose
Mm-hmm.
their minds. They would lose their minds
Mm-hmm.
because men would think more clear.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Women would be in trouble. You'll see women switch up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we would have absolutely no interest in them sexually. Now, I'm not wishing that upon any of us. You know, even if we don't want it, we still want to know our body parts are functional. You feel me? Like,
Absolutely.
but in a hypothetical situation, women would be they would be they'd be in trouble. They
Exactly.
would really be in trouble. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think men should go. A lot of guys, they talk about, your value goes up with every woman you enter. You know, you hear these type of manosphere logic.
Are you
I think,
serious?
yeah, bro. Like, her value goes down with every man she sleeps with. You know, hey, believe what you want, but I think honestly, with all due respect, if you if society was to change, men should go on a dick strike.
Mm-hmm.
Men should go on a dick strike.
Mm-hmm. Well, that or it should be on an earned basis. See, the thing is, if you look at this, you're dealing with. I gotta change that narrative. I don't know what the fuck is going on. If women are dealing with you, right? You gotta look at it like this. Everything comes down to access, right?
Yeah,
How often can you speak to God? You can speak to God all the time. How often does God speak back to you? How often does God really you really see God in your life? Okay. How often does God really touch your life? It should be the same way with a woman. If you're basically made in his image, a woman should basically dick ration, you know, with women, as far as there should be like a reward system. If you do this, see some guys, women fucks up is, she wants to offer some pussy or whatever like that. He's okay with it. Or on his birthday, he gets some pussy. Like, why am I getting something that's used? You know, where's my shit? So it's like it's if, if you can't touch God, you don't have access to God like that. You appreciate him more. It should be the same way with you. If that woman doesn't have access to your loins, okay. See, there's two different loins. See, we're talking about the lower loins, and we're also talking about the higher loin, your mind. A woman shouldn't have access to your mind. She can basically hear your thoughts, interpret, understand it, and try to, be serviceable to that. But she shouldn't have access to your mind.
yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying. And a lot of these guys, bro, they're woman addicts, bro. They're addicted to women, bro.
Oh yeah.
They're addicted to women, bro. Like being on your own, being in that state of solitude and just discovery. That stuff guys don't care about.
Mm-mm.
Like, I think if I was I'm not a bad looking guy. So if I was promoting, how to get a girl in 30 days, or
Mm.
some BS, like, I crack jokes behind the scenes, but I was saying, like, if I was to make a video called "How to Get Pussy" in 5 words,
Yeah. Shit.
that could propel me to 20,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it's one of those things where guys don't value that. I've been pushing self actualization. I have
Mm-hmm.
several drops about it, but if I was to transition that into how to get pussy through self actualization, niggas will take it a lot more seriously. You know, like I was saying to my brother, to my homeboy the other day, he was saying that if I had like an IG model on my channel, people would take my word a lot more seriously, because they didn't really see the value in what I was saying. They only saw the value in relation to the level of the woman that was featured. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things I noticed. And I would suggest guys, do as much self-actualization as you can, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the YouTube algorithm does not matter. All you need is clickbait.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it's been working. I've been seeing people put out certain things. It's rather strange. You can see how people's content has been compromised from their beginning stages. You know what I'm saying?
eh,
Like
I'm not
their
sure about that
catalog
talk.
is still their catalog at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
I'm not sure about that talk, because now I do think the algorithm is not 100% accurate, but we got to remember, like, to go viral, you just need clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
I I disagree with that, bro. Because they Kanye was complaining about them repressing one of his videos, and that dude got millions of followers.
Mm-hmm.
He got millions. They could repress it, bro. It's a government device, like social media, YouTube, all this is government device. So if they
Oh yeah.
don't
Oh.
talk, for example, I'm gonna use you as an example. You talk about like white supremacy. You can have the best clickbait on the planet. I hate white people. I can guarantee you they're gonna either take your video down or dox your channel. That's how it is, bro. It all comes down to what people what people value, and what YouTube, the actual whole thing values. You understand? I've had videos that I was like, yo, this thing's about to go viral. I've hit like 2,000 in a week, and then they take it down just like that. That's
Mm.
how it is, without no warning.
Mm.
So it depends on how safe your content is too. Now, I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
saying what Top saying is wrong. I'm just saying it really comes down to how safe your content is. You
Absolutely.
know?
I think also it's selected. Like there's certain people, there's certain images, there's certain ideas or agendas that people want to promote on YouTube. I think is hand selected. Like if you look at certain content creators that came up, like you look at Kevin Samuels, he was selected. You look at that chick, whatever her name is, Dope Discussions, that she was basically selected. Like there's certain people that are selected to push an agenda. Like anyone that's really saying
Yeah,
anything
exactly.
that's sound and helpful, um, and that's groundbreaking, they're gonna do a lot of stuff that block their progression. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Now, talking about racism isn't clickbait, but if you have a title that's like a clickbait type title about racism, at the level you talk about it, it still's not going to be pushed like Kevin Samuels. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's just not going to be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Samuels don't talk about really anything new, and yet
Mm-hmm.
his subscriber count keep growing. There's people paying for subs. A lot of stuff on YouTube is not as real as you think. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so it what's the word I can say? I think YouTube is a great tool. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think if I you could call it a social media now, because it ain't just about just videos, but I can say firmly it's one of my favorite it's one of my favorite apps. Like I really like YouTube. There's tons of information on
Mm-hmm.
so many different things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just great, man. Like I really enjoy YouTube. I really do. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: the type of caliber of content that me and you talk about, Ice,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be that popular among the masses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got to a certain space that early on I was just like, you know what, I'm really not moving myself from this. You know, people have told me all the time, like if you water down your content, your channel would be like up there. You should be at 100,000. Like, no, I'm just not really. I'm not compromising. I'm not a compromised man. You know, I stay true to who I am and what I'm talking about. Like I can't do all that other shit. The piece that I wanted to touch on with I think Roger Connor, I actually have it in the comments, is that women can use all six senses. That's true, but you know the blessing of being a man is that we can use seven and beyond. The seventh sense. That's when I talk about the power to change a woman's God. That's when you have the top chakra, is brother would say, the crown chakra, to where so you can channel and transfer information and change the woman's perspective. You have the power. We're not even talking. It's just your presence. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah, it is. It is. What's y'all thoughts on Danica Marie and how she's in Red Pill spaces? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with. I think she got good content, but she's not that different from a lot of broads, man. And I mean, I could just tell from just her spirit. It doesn't mean she's like evil or anything like that. But I could tell like she found a niche.
Mm.
She found a niche that just like it makes sense to a lot of guys, but a lot of broads aren't gonna get her content because it doesn't it doesn't it doesn't validate them, you know?
Exactly. I just, at the end of the day, I think her content is trash. I just think she just has a nice pair of tits. It's just that tattoo kind of gets in the way. She's got to work on her teeth. I mean, she's got all these subscribers now. She's getting some money. She should work on her teeth. And you see her without that makeup, man. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these chicks, man, have that hit dog holler face and shit. You know what I'm saying? The only girl is actually cute in this space, which really she worked it because she has the accent, is Jessica X. Rest of these chicks is finished, highly finished, face, lives, and vaginal cavities. That's just my opinion.
Man, you're naming people I never even heard of.
Yeah,
I do know Jessica X, because she was on Fantastic Stream earlier, but I will say this, like, and see, this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. This whole every guy got a I hate hearing this. Every guy got a dime piece that broke their heart. I hate that, bro.
That's bullshit.
Every guy, bro, it's BS. Because bro, those women you mentioned are average, bro. They're average.
Yeah.
Most women are average. Like most guys sit for average women. When I hear guys talk about, oh my god, this girl an 8 broke my heart. It's crap, bro. It's crap. I hate hearing that. I hate hearing that. Most guys would be afraid to approach an 8. Would be afraid to approach 8. Guys are afraid to approach 6s oftentimes. Like, guys kill me, bro. And the most stuck up, and this is how you know it's real, because they try to make it seem like the most good-looking women are the biggest hoes, and that's not the case. That's not. Because think about, let's use human beings as an example of algorithms. Most guys are gonna go for something they perceive as easier, hence average. Because most guys are essentially average, you know.
Facts.
People are just gonna go for average. Like Pop was saying, most females are average, you know. So if most females are average in looks, then most guys have a sob story. This is gonna sound funny, of an average chick who destroyed him. You know, I mean, let's just be real.
Exactly.
You know, that's just how it is, bro. Like most women are just average, bro. It just is what it is. You know, and most guys are gonna pursue average women because they perceive looks makes a chick better. But that's just insecurity, you know.
Exactly.
I've met women, bro. This is gonna sound crazy, but I've met women that were, you know, above a 6, I've met women that were 7, and they had a better personality than 5s. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So when dudes be like, man, these bras out here, they be stuck. They're talking about 6s, man. They're talking about 5s. The chicks that was rude to me in middle school, when I didn't even know myself, when they was snobbish, bro, I look back, those chicks were average looking.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing too, sex appeal. Sex appeal and looks are not synonymous. So a chick could be like a 5, but she has a banging body, and it could be like, damn, this dime broke my heart. Like, no, she's not a dime. She just has a great body, but she's average looking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is, man. Most women are
Mm-hmm.
average. So
Exactly.
just on a algorithm level with people, most people are gonna fall under average as far as looks.
Exactly. Is her face ugly but her body cute?
There's more bras like that than than a 7. Real talk.
Yeah. And it's barely that their body's cute, man, because they got that little fuba situation going on. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
don't. Oh, another thing. Another delusion I'm about to break.
Mm.
Dudes be like, I don't deal with fat women. That's a freaking lie. It's a
Bullshit.
lie. They all got kids. It's a lie.
Mm. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
It's a lie. I never met a fat woman that was infertile. I
Mm.
never met one.
Mm.
I never met a fat chick.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I can't have kids. No, they all somehow pop a baby.
Yeah. Every dude then popped a big joint. This depends. Like it's big and there's obese. I popped a big joint quite a few times in my experiences, man. Like and it happens the way because you know how the joint top you off, and the head is so wicked. It's like, man, all right, I'm just turn around, turn your fat ass around real quick.
Nah, what you're saying is facts, bro. What you're saying is
Mhm.
facts. Like, but
Mhm.
even the obese ones got kids.
Yeah.
So when guys, this is why this whole thing with 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 dudes saying, you know, dudes be on the AMS wave. No disrespect to AMS, but dudes who follow him, because I'm coming at his followers, they be like, AMS, how can I get dimes? Nigga, like, your dick don't get hard from chicks that's dimes. Like, let's keep it real. Like,
Mhm.
well, I can't say that. Most guys like the idea of a dime, you know, a chick who's bad. But most
But like
guys are
reality.
yeah, most guys can't handle that. Another thing too, and this is how you know what I'm saying is legit. A chick can be a dime, right? Let's say hypothetically, no, I won't say she a dime. She a 9, right? She's bad as hell. Like
Mm.
she turns women's heads. That's how fine she is.
Mhm.
She's a 9, right? And
Uh.
this is how you know I'm speaking the truth.
Mhm.
No, no guy is gonna come after her until a nigga is with her
Yeah, that's facts.
openly, directly.
Mhm.
Guys will not approach a dime until they see a nigga, and then when they see a nigga with her, oh, niggas get bold. Niggas
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, for real?
Mm. With certain
Hey,
certain.
how you doing? Guys are not like that when it comes to a dime. They're not like that when it comes to a 9 that's single. They own guys approach more directly when a 9 is with a nigga.
Yeah.
That's how it is. They'll you know they'll DM through Instagram, you know, passive aggressively, cat call, but they're not gonna be bold enough to approach.
Yeah. To certain guys they'll try it with. They look at this guy because a lot of times these girls are with the beautiful, like the real beautiful women that you do see. They be with these nerdy looking guys. So this guy you could just mush right in the face. So it's rare that, you know what I'm saying, you run to a guy that, like, 'cause there's a couple of chicks I've been when we were out to eat and whatever like that. There's guys that want to look at my girl but they didn't. You know, I didn't think I told you about the story about the guy, man. I don't know if I should tell it on here. I can't. I ain't gonna tell that shit on here. Yeah, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
tell that story, man, because I ain't trying to let y'all niggas know certain things about me, man.
yeah, man, and that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. Like niggas get bold when they see a fine chick with a dude. They don't get
Yeah.
that bold when they see a fine chick alone. Cause
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh, if you can be with him, I got a chance. And another thing, bro, this Pookie and Ray Ray conversation, another
It's
delusion I want
bullshit.
to bro, Pookie and Ray Ray get all the women. What are niggas talking about? What are niggas talking about? Incredible Top gets women. He's a Sigma male. He's a lone
Yeah.
wolf. So he does his own thing. He gets women. He's not out in the streets. Now I will say this: a lot of women, they will like the image of a guy like that. You know, an image of a guy that's fly, an image of a guy that looks hard. But most of these guys, when you talk to them niggas ain't hard. You know, I look them dead in the eye and they look away. Come on, man. Like, and I'm not even hood. So that should tell you something, you know? Like most guys in the hood are not C. Douglas. we just have to be real with ourselves now, you know?
It's see what's been said on here is it's a lot of fantasy talk. You know, it's
It
like
is.
they're basically being sold like, you know, like you sell to a bitch. You selling the dream. All you gotta do is do this. You gotta do is lift weights. You gotta do is do this shit, and then you're it. It doesn't work like that, because even if you do build yourself up, you know, the air gets thinner as you go up. At the end of the day, because the reason why it gets thinner, because what you prefer then you won't prefer now. You know, also, you know, in the beginning you're trying to discover your standards. Then as you go up, you become a standard, and you realize that majority of these women out here are really a waste of time. They're not even worth even, you know, having a 30-second conversation with.
Yo, you're hitting on something, bro. You're really hitting on something, because there used to be a time, man, I used to want to have, you know, long conversations with broads. Now, I can say firmly after 10, 15 minutes, even less than that, I don't want to talk, you know, because it's like, it's not fulfilling, you know. I'm not saying you should go out seeking that fulfillment from a chick, but I will say this from just personal experience: the more I grow, I just, you get to a point where you don't relate to them anymore.
Oh yeah.
You know, you almost live like ET. You know, you just don't relate. And that's the thing why, like you were saying with the selling and dreams, you know, with the Pookie, most dudes lived in the hood. They are not from the hood. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
That's when they talk. That's when they talk about. Oh yeah, I'll be on the concrete. I'll be motherfucker. You be going to Starbucks. You be going to Chick-fil-A. You be getting your dry clean. You don't really be on the concrete. You don't really be outside dealing with motherfuckers. You're scary ass. You probably got an apartment in the hood, and you don't go outside. You probably don't go further from your porch. You're not outside dealing
exactly.
with the people.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I live in the projects. I don't need it. I was never the type to care about going outside like that. You know, people around my way used to be like, "You're never outside," but you know, I know what goes on. I know what's in the loop. You know, that's what works well for me. But I'm not gonna be out here. Yeah, I'm a project nigga. No, niggas don't need 15 minutes too long, ref. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, talk?
He says not the turf. Yeah, exactly. niggas don't be on the turf at all, but they be talking like they be on the turf, like they be know what's going on. No, you don't. You wouldn't be outside. You'd be scared. Or the dudes be outside during the daytime. Like go outside, you know, at night. Go outside 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Be outside. Leave your car
Yeah,
running right out front of the bodega. You know.
yeah. Like when a dude said on a drop sometime. Oh, I remember what you were saying, talk. Now I get it. It was a response to what I was saying. But yeah, like dude was saying, like, if he was in a hood and he didn't know, um and he didn't know like the people in the neighborhood, he'll cross the street. I'm like, bro, you have to walk past them people, bro. You can't, bro. Because to them, it's not that they're smelling pussy from you. It's more like shady. You get what I'm saying? You can't just cross the street. You just gonna have to face them. You know, respect them, like shake your head and keep it pushing, they're not gonna do anything to you. By and large, they'll crack jokes, whatever, but the hood equals YouTube panels.
Facts. Facts. Yo, and it's crazy because a lot of these people be acting like they be doing that stuff, but you know what it is? They pay attention to certain people that be around and shit, and in the shit, so then they'll try to copy their slang or their jargon, like yeah. Like, wait a minute, dickhead, you from such and such place? This, that's Northeast talk. What are you
Yeah,
doing, buddy?
a lot of people want a hood pass, man.
Yeah,
and you got people
no
that's trying to leave it. That's why, bro. Like, I wouldn't glorify. I live in a projects. I wouldn't glorify being in a projects. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not the best condition in the world.
Exactly. Don't glorify nigga shit. Like, that's the thing about our people. We glorify, the ignorance of our culture as some type of fad. Don't glorify that shit. Don't you want to be something more than that? Yeah, you could be from, what I'm saying, around the way or whatever like that, man. But what I'm saying, represent something different. Be an example. Be an alternative. So when these younger guys look at the younger warriors, they don't really have to go out here, I'm saying, and do the things that, I'm saying, that's not savory. On paper they could do something different. That's when you can create a way. Like, damn, I know he used to be out here with us, or he used to do this, but I see him doing this. He's going through his process, he's struggling, but he's still progressing, at the same time, so that sparks the brain for them to want to basically do that. Exactly. It's YouTube streets, man. YouTube streets, man. Shit is nutty, man.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because
keep you motivated. Let's go to
this is why this Pookie and Ray argument, I can shut this down with one sentence. Those guys want niggas who aren't Pookie and Ray to stay out the street anyway. The real hood niggas don't want nerdy niggas in the streets. They're looking at you as inspiration, like you can get out. I'm tied to a gang. Like, it's bled out for me. So you are inspiration. You can get out the hood. But again, because black guys are your pussy too much. Because that's all this Spooky Ray is about. Like, let's call the game. Like,
that's what thugging is really all about, bro. To get some pussy.
Exactly, bro. And you want pussy from someone who don't like you. That's the problem. Why would I chase chicks that don't like me, or chicks that just envy me? Why would I do that? Like, why? It's like, dudes, and you hear these arguments from guys that's like 35, 40 sometimes. Bro, leave them hoes alone. Half of them are dead. Leave them alone. Don't worry about these chicks chasing these bad boys and all that. Because, I mean, when I look at the average black dude, he ain't no hood nigga. He's just a nigga that dress urban. He look like he's hard, but he's really not. These brothers pushing these niggas around, yelling at these niggas right in front of the mall. I be seeing all this stuff, bro.
I wish a woman would lay her hands on me, or even come across a thought of doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just a different conversation. It's just like that. That's where these guys, got everything fucked up. They ain't got the game fucked up. They got their whole life fucked up.
Exactly. You got guys that envy that. You a lot of these hood chicks be running hood dudes, bro. Bro, you be seeing domestic violence from broads to niggas, and you envy that. Because what? She got a fat ass. She'll slap you, and you'll cry. So why waste your time, man? As men, we gotta move forward. Like, forget these broads, man. If they come, they come. If they go, they go. It's life.
Exactly. And then I had to debunk another argument. A guy basically put out something about, an exceptional woman. Like, you guys ready to meet an exceptional woman? There's no such thing as an exceptional woman. They're either acceptable or unacceptable, and they're acceptable based on certain characteristics. They're just satisfactory, really. They're really, at best, they're satisfactory. They only become exceptional when they really inherited, your behavior and your way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? The way you carry, that's when they become exceptional. A lot of guys, we hear these conversations, but it comes down to, you believe that? Do you believe that you're that kind of man? Do you believe that you can reproduce that type of fruit? Every fruit reproduces after its own kind. What kind of man are you? See, the woman becomes the equivalent of you. Like, a bitch is not my equal. She's the equivalent of who I am when she does the knowledge. She does the knowledge to the point to where, as though I can basically fall back and she can go out and handle business and carry it the same way I would. That's when she becomes the equivalent. That's when she becomes something that someone I can actually speak to. Other than that, no. She's just living property.
Yeah, man. Like a lot of guys, they don't have that. I'm not saying, it's wise to just have a superiority complex over chicks, but they don't know what it's like when a chick is threatened by what they perceive as your superiority. They don't experience that. I remember a coworker of mine. She was saying that, like, I have a very intimidating stare. I look like I want to kill somebody type of thing. And I'm like, no, like, my thought, I'm not even thinking about breaking people or anything like that. I'm just focused on the work so I could get the hell out. you know? So that energy, they're going to second guess trying things with me. Right? But a lesser tier guy, oh, the games have amplified. You get what I'm saying? So the guys just don't understand. They don't understand women being intimidated, especially by your knowledge. Most guys have never been called, "Oh, you think you're a know-it-all." Most guys have never experienced being called that. "Oh, you think you're all that," you know?
True talk. I've heard that a lot. You think you know it all, or you think you're all that. And
Oh, my favorite.
My response to that is no. Thinking comes from not knowing. You think I'm all that.
Exactly.
I already know that. I'm thinking about something else.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's messed up? A lot of chicks are choosing guys that they on some level feel that they're better than,
Less challenged, so they don't feel hurt. So they're the ones that can actually leave the relationship or the situation and not feel anything, but the guy's all fucked up. See, if you're basically unfortunately, that's a good thing. If you're like a boyfriend, husband, whatever like that. Back in the day, certain extent now depends on how you structure it. But in most cases, a lot of guys are following the woman's lead, and they're not necessarily, they're the boyfriend or the husband. They're not in a favorable position. They're basically the sucker. It's been so many stories. Like, women have outright, have even got to the point of even lying to me because they wanted to be a part of what I'm doing. It's like, oh, you got a boyfriend? And they got a boyfriend, but he's basically riding around passenger in her seat, or he's living in her place. See, there's a lot of consequences to that.
Yeah, exactly. Top was saying I've been called know-it-all so many times. It's my superhero name.
Oh shit!
For real, bro. for real, bro. It has. I feel like out of every 5 women I meet that get that, develop rapport with, that's used.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
real.
crazy because it's crazy, bro, because it's not even, it's just a fraction of what I know that they're intimidated by. It's not
Yep.
it's not even like I'm going all out. You know, I'm going out of my way to like tell them these things. You know,
Mm.
you know it's real when other guys are intimidated by you. You know,
Mm. That's talk about that.
yeah, like, you know, we was talking about females and stuff like that, but even other guys, bro. I've been called a know-it-all by guys. You
Yep.
feel me?
Yep.
So
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, even guys will have that envy for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. Like,
Yep.
I've had situations where this dude literally said he didn't like me, but then a few weeks later, no, he said he didn't like me to a group of friends of mine, and they
Mm.
told me later that he did, and he till this day still denies it. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
he still denies it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yeah, I just don't rock with rap."
Mm-hmm. I've gotten that, and usually, you know, you gotta look at the introduction, how they introduce themselves. When they're overzealous, when we're talking about certain attributes that they like about you, that's really the things that they're envious about. They really haven't discovered that yet. But as they go along further into knowing you, you know, they become intimidated and they become jealous because they like the idea of, you know, man cave vlogging channel, but the reality makes them realize that they're really just average, you know, and they hate that shit. That's what they really hate. They like the idea of you. They like the idea of top chakra, right? But the reality makes them feel average. Makes a bitch feel average. Makes a bitch get off her, you know, delusional high horse and look at the fact that she really is just lucky to even breathe your air.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's the thing, bro.
It called you a kid.
Oh, know it all.
Oh, okay, I like that. I might have to hashtag that.
Yeah, I was able to put two and two. I was like, huh, Kia. But I
No.
noticed with a lot of what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
it kills the delusion. You know, it
Yep.
kills the you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Top, like Top is a dude I respect. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we have disagreements, but I'm not gonna come out my mouth and say he's a know-it-all. You know, I'm just not gonna do it.
I respect the guy. I respect the guy on top. Yeah, I respect the guy on top. I respect the guy in you. I respect the guy in Rich. I respect the guy in JP. You know what I'm saying? Everybody brings something to the table, uniquely and distinctly different. You know, I'm more so into celebrating the differences and learning from those differences. You know, just as you know, you learn from the difference, you know, with me and stuff like that. It's like a great pot of gumbo without that pork in it. You feel me?
Exactly. And that's the thing, bro. Like, me personally, I'm not gonna be the type of person who's intimidated by someone's knowledge. You know, I'm not gonna look at someone who's more knowledgeable than me as, oh, you're just better than me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I choose to learn. The
Uh-huh.
reality is, the reason why you kill that delusion with, you know, envious people is they're they're used to having things their way on some level,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't like when things go the opposite. So, like,
Yep.
let's say I meet, I'm gonna use a chick as an example. Let's say I meet a chick, you know, she seemed cool at first, and
Mm-hmm.
then she's like, "Oh, you're a know-it-all." Like, you know, a few months later, on some level, she had that fear
Mm-hmm.
already. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? She had that fear, but it manifested into envy over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so by it manifesting over time, it became worse and worse and worse. This is why I suggest, guys, when you hear stuff like know it all, um, you should just distance yourself, because
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time before that individual just comes, that individual just leaves your life,
Yeah.
and
Because
you just save yourself so much energy, you know.
hmm they can't keep up with it. They can't keep up with that level of vibration that you're operating on. It's just like I said before, it's like you're building the pyramid within yourself. As we talk about self-actualization, you're building yourself up to each level. That person is going to fall by the way. So you look at the pyramid, how it's a triangle. It was more people at the bottom. It says lonely on top, but it's crowded and miserable at the bottom. Decisions are both yours. You have one life. Why not live it to your fullest potential, your fullest actualization? You know.
Exactly. And I want to respond to what Top was saying. When folks think you're a know-it-all, they're intimidated by you. It's not that you're actually a know-it-all. You just know more than they do. And that's the problem. That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem. They don't even want to be a student.
No.
That's the problem. That's the conflict right there. They know
Uh-huh.
you're a teacher, but they don't want to be a student. That's the
No.
problem.
Mm-mm.
When in reality, by you being a student, you can also be a teacher to whoever taught you, because you're going to process the information differently.
Exactly.
It's a competition in their mind, but it's no comparison on your level. That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
And they know that, man. They know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they have a secret competition with you, but
And losing.
yeah, they're losing and it bothers them. That's why they say
Mm-hmm.
things like you're a know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
But another aspect to what to in response to talk, they're also lazy too.
Mm.
It's a psychological laziness that they have,
Mm-hmm.
because they know it takes work to get where you're at, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like I had people trying to imitate me, various content creators. Um, but it's like, you know, you gotta basically crawl before you can walk. Um, you gotta be able to walk before you can fly. This is something that I've been doing since I was a teenager. I've been building like this since I was a teenager. I'm 39 years old now. You know, this is something that I stayed the course with. I was around, various, people to help elevate me, to challenge me. And that's the thing when you get mentors, or when people talk about, as far as you getting mentors, and be like, oh, Ice, you're an asshole. People, you're rude. Like, nah, you can imagine how my mentors were. My mentors would grind me the fuck up. They would say things that would cause me to be emotional, but I couldn't react that way. I had to soak it up and internalize what they were saying and why they were saying it. And then, okay, how do I apply myself to this? How do I apply myself to this? And, at first it's going to be a cognitive distance because it's different from your uh, original setting. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
Rich was good.
What's up, brother Rich?
Was good.
What's up, brother Rich?
Teachers were first students and actually kind of remain so because they keep learning. Exactly. I'm a student teacher. I'm still learning, forever learning. What coming to the knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, is some people, forever learning but never coming to the knowledge of self. And what I mean by not coming to the knowledge of self is never putting their feet, never planting their feet on the ground. Win, lose, or draw, just saying this is who I am and I'm gonna grow from here. They're not into that. So really has an original idea, an original mind, original way of life themselves, but they try to copy other people. You can take pieces of their information, pieces that they give you, but create your own with it. You know, it's too lazy to create ingenuity. You said getting code in here. You already know.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing, bro. Like knowledge itself,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like the more you have knowledge yourself, bro, you're gonna you're gonna realize, bro, that broads are you're gonna see broads either as assets in general or burdens in general.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see it.
Mm-hmm. In
That's
your
how you're
opinion,
gonna
how do
see
you
it, man.
see them as assets? We obviously know as far as what burdens they present, but how are they,
Well, as far
how do
as
they
like
become
how they,
assets?
well, one of the biggest things I look for immediately is teachability. That's one of the
Mm,
biggest things I look for. Like, you have to be teachable. You can't be like, hey, I got this and all. No, you do not. Most women do
mm-hmm.
not got things together. They really don't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A simp got more order than the average woman. It sounds crazy to say, but that's the reality, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A simp got more order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because he's gonna have to be orderly so enough so a chick can come into his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Exactly.
unless he doesn't have a level of order, then woman ain't gonna rock with him. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
that's like even a simp. So you gotta have some level of order. So one was teachability. Two
Mm-hmm.
is receptiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why I choose receptiveness as number two is you gotta really, like, for example, if Rich was teaching me game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just taking a game and there's no engagement, like there's no
Mm-hmm.
reception for me, that I don't value Rich's game that much,
Mm-hmm.
you know, versus if I actually invest into understanding his game, things like asking questions, it
Mm-hmm.
reinforces the teachability thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then three, and this is for me personally, you got to be
Mm-hmm.
willing to remove yourself from the world, you
Mm-hmm.
know? That's how I see it. You have to remove yourself from the world because how the hell how the hell can the first two things work fully if you are too attached to the world,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's your family, like
Mm-hmm.
that. All these three things lead into number four, which is dedication.
Mm-hmm.
They lead into dedication because
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a chick that's willing to leave the world,
Mm-hmm.
the societal world, to enter your bubble. You
Exactly.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
Oh yeah. The same
So
principles of
honestly, bro,
mm-hmm.
yeah. And once you have these things, you kind of make my life easier.
Exactly.
You feel me? You make my life easier because at the end of the day, the type of game that I have is going to help you.
Exactly.
So if it's going to help you, then you're going to be self-sufficient. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rich is accurate, bro.
Exactly.
Yes, they will seek you out, but they must be able to follow basic instructions. Exactly, exactly,
Exactly. Is
exactly.
their Bible, the basic instructions before you leave the earth. See, it's just like what Jesus had told the rich man, first sell all your possessions. Basically, sell all of what your previous programming was, what you believe that you think that is life, what you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, and submit and follow me and take on my teachings. You can't tell it to a black woman to give up all that she has. As far as you're talking about giving up all she has, not her physical possessions, but her ideas that have
Yeah,
really
that's true.
crippled her.
She'll sell pussy for you versus actually submitting her mind to you.
Mm, yeah, but see, the thing is, what most guys, that's enough. That's more than enough. That's the end game. You know,
Yeah, that's
basically, all she's really giving you is something that she gave to somebody else that was really less at the end of the day. So why are you excited about that? You know.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, bro. Guys are codependent on pussy. You're codependent, bro.
Mm. Damn, that you ever say how hard that was to say codependent? Because they feel it because it's pseudo power instead of actual power. It's pseudo power. So whereas they feel like somebody because they're on top of a woman, you know, sweating and everything like that, and you know, thrusting, and I got her. I got this moment of power, which is really like what 45 minutes. So you're powerful for 45 minutes, but then you know, there's 24 hours in a day. You know, you're really anal as shit.
I'm glad you brought that up because most guys only feel powerful for 3 minutes and then they go watch Netflix. You know, like you know that's how it is with a lot of these guys, man. I want to respond to what Rich was saying. A lot of people seek leaders but just want to be a part of the hype. Leaders are charismatic. They pull people, but does the leader want to teach them value for value? It's an exchange. I agree, man. But I don't think people really seek leaders. They just seek hype more so than leadership. You know, like people seek sensationalism than actual leaders. Because if again, it ties in a conversation I had with a friend of mine earlier today. It's crazy how all these things is just flowing. Like we're really just flowing ice.
Yeah, no pens.
No, no pens at all.
No
No pens.
footnotes. Not.
We're just flowing. Like I had a conversation with my boy, and he was saying that, you know, I was telling him, I was like, chicks will accept, you know, a dope dealer, a killer, and a pedophile before you because they I'm going to do a drop about this. Because it's accepted rebellion, you know? It's acceptable to like when George Floyd happened, everyone was protesting. But if you're protesting and you're burning down the city when there's no hype behind it, then you're looked at as a crazy guy.
Exactly.
Even if what you're doing is right. Like I'm against police brutality. I'm gonna burn the police station. Everyone would say this nigga's crazy. But when George Floyd happened, millions of people, you know, believe the hype. You know? So a lot of people don't really see the value in a leader if it's unaccepted rebellion. Because in order to rebel in an unaccepted way, that makes you a leader, you know?
Yep. Exactly.
So if you're rebelling in an unaccepted way, you're a leader. But people just want hype. That's why I used the example earlier with the Instagram model. Like if I dated an Instagram model, niggas will take self-actualization more seriously. But they don't really see the value of self-actualization. They're just seeing it in relation to the type of woman that I can get. You understand?
Facts.
They're not saying, damn, Man Cave is a centered individual. No, they're looking at, damn, he got himself a baddie from IG. Self-actualization must be working. Let me do that. I remember I had a dude hit me up. It was during this pandemic thing. I mean, we're still going through it, but it was like the early stages. And dude was asking me, no, he didn't ask me. It was a conversation I had with another content creator, and he was saying dudes are hitting him up on how to get pussy during the pandemic. Mind you, things are, you know, starting to open up now, but I think it was back in May when things were really quiet, bro. I'm like, dude, the last thing you need to focus on is how to get pussy during a pandemic. These hoes aren't outside, bro. Like, what date? You know, there was time businesses were closed, man. Like, so all this whole thing with, you know, get a pussy during the pandemic, you know, it's foolish. But that's what guys value. Like value for value is an exchange. Like like me and you, we're having a conversation. We are giving each other things of value, valuable information. You know? A lot of people, they don't know how to they don't know how to separate what's valuable to them personally versus objective value. You
Mm-hmm.
know, self-actualization is very valuable.
Exactly.
It's very valuable, regardless if you think it is valuable or not. It's very valuable. Like
Exactly. I
they say,
think.
like shadow work. It's a form of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a form of that internal work. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you earlier with that chick saying self-actualization is only physical,
Mm-hmm.
I felt some type of way about it because it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're looking for someone to just take your pain away, like how we was talking earlier about escaping versus
Mm-hmm.
embodying. You know,
Yep.
now I'm not gonna get too much into that,
Mm-hmm.
because that's for Sunday. I'll
Yes.
Rich, I hope you're available Sunday, bro. But
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of chicks, they join things to escape. They don't join things to embody, and this is a difference.
Facts.
This is a difference, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
Eh,
difference. Like top,
eh,
like for example, you know, top is big on the whole he's big as far as Kemet, right? A chick
uh,
will claim she's Kemet, right?
mm-hmm.
But Top embodies Kemet, whereas she's trying to escape, being a whore to join Kemet. You know, it's different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Chicks, there's some chicks that follow me on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They are using self-actualization as a form of escaping from, you know, their sins or whatnot. Oh, maybe this can help me escape, but I'm living proof of embodying that. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
like the
And you
ice
gotta look
chart.
at it. True indeed. You gotta look at it like this. Mike Tyson had this major quote on Hot Boxing with Boosie. He explained the difference between your mother and you know the woman that's dealing with you. Is a big difference. Um, for one, I'm gonna add, the difference between your mother and the woman that's dealing with you is that your mother, bled for you. That woman will cause you to bleed. Okay, that's one thing. And the other part, he said he said a woman. He said your mother would do anything, you know, for your survival. Well, the woman that's dealing with you is doing everything, and her powers for her survival. So even that submission and the obedience is deceptive.
Yeah, it
Even if
is.
she's doing what you need her to do, it's still deceptive. It's for her selfish gain. Everything that a woman says or does, it's for her selfish gain. It's not really to knock them for who they are. It's just this is who they are. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, it's just like what grown man business has been, preaching and teaching on is being men first, being a man first, keeping the main thing first, keeping yourself, you know, everything else is supposed to add to that, your children, your wife or, whatever, everything's supposed to be in addition to that. But being a man is more important. And what being a man is, and the essential guide to real uh, maximum potency is self-actualization. What people talk about as far as with being, what we say, an alpha man, a sigma man, or an elite man, or you know, however you wherever you want to put it as, you can't have that without self-actualization. You can't have self-improvement without self-actualization, because you have to be able to actualize exactly who you are to know what you need to improve, to embody that.
I'm glad you mentioned that because the self-improvement movement, uh like I don't like the self-improvement movement that's pushed on YouTube, because what you said
Mhm.
I think is like the real deal of self-improvement. The guys that are on YouTube pushing self-improvement, they're talking about hitting the gym so that they can get pussy. Like that's not, and guys are not self-improving to improve themselves,
Mm,
internally. They're improving themselves to appeal to more women,
mm-hmm.
And truth be told, they're trying to appeal to more broken women.
Yeah,
Because most women are broken.
exactly. And they're not dealing with their brokenness. Whereas though you might have a washboard stomach and muscles, but you're still insecure, and then your insecurity is in conflict with her insecurity. Then you're both
Exactly,
stuck.
exactly, man, exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
the self-improvement movement that's pushed on Black YouTube is ridiculous. Like, it's so freaking ridiculous. Like, dudes think they're better than you because they slept with more chicks. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Now again, like sleeping with more chicks does say something. It
Mm-hmm.
just says that you're capable of just sleeping with more chicks.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that you're less of a man if you don't. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that you're a terrible human being. Cause think about it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How many people can really how many people can really sit at a table with someone like you, Ice? How many chicks can really sit at the table with you?
Not too
It
many.
doesn't mean, but to a lesser tier man, he would have a lot of chicks. It just means
Yeah.
that those women are just there. You're gonna bring out the insecurity.
Mm-hmm. And it also comes to a point within your own line of thought that, if women aren't really qualified to be around you, then why are you still sleeping with them? See, the only thing that's worse than a nothing for nothing ass bitch is the guy that's entertaining her.
That's true. That's true, man.
Mm-hmm.
Self
And,
improvement is very difficult.
yeah, I'm not. And
It
see,
is.
again, I'm not knocking anybody's school of thought, but I feel like it doesn't touch the core of what the problem is within the plight of within the plight of man right now. We're kind of like that Coliseum um after the fact, like not during the Coliseum when the Romans were, fighting lions and men were fighting lions and shit like that. I'm talking about just after the fact, where it's decayed. You know, most men are walking around, you know, in a shell of who they are instead of, you know, within the wholeness. You know, what we're teaching and talking about is being whole within yourself. I hate that other theory that they bring out. Oh, this woman right here is my better half. It's fucking crock of shit. I'm already a whole. She's just a shadow of my whole. You know,
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
the moon. I'm the sun. She's a reflection of me at best. You know, it's just a system of thinking. It's a system. That's what I really want to do is change the system of thought.
YouTubers use wordplay manipulation like high value self improvement, alpha, etc. We need to define the words to define our lives.
Facts.
I think we need to define our lives before we define our words.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't, and another thing, a lot of guys they like the idea of things,
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of guys define high value as a man who's making tons of money
Mm-hmm.
and you know he has a lot of hoes. He's high value. How is that
Mm-hmm.
high value? To who?
Exactly.
Like, how come you don't want to define, your own high value? Oh, what's
Mm-hmm.
up, chef? Um, and
Brother.
this, all these things, bro. All these things revolve around broads, man.
Yeah.
That's why they use the wordplay manipulation. It revolves around broads because, and we could say on some level they're false prophets, but their audience is even worse.
Yeah.
I've had content creators tell me, man, I want to talk about something else. The stuff you talk about, my audience is not gonna rock with. And I'm like, fam, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Like I talk
Mm-hmm.
about anything. Like if you look through, we just had a conversation about catalogs. I
Mm-hmm.
used to read articles.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that in probably a year, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what I used to do. I used to read articles and talk.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
when it comes to like dudes being afraid to say this, to lose their audience, think about it, bro. At the end of the day, if they have to, if you have to lose your audience to gain new ones, so be it. But
Mm-hmm.
guys don't have that mindset, man.
Mm-mm. Eh,
So I understand the pressure of being a content creator because
mm-hmm.
you want to cater to your audience,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, like
Mm-hmm.
what me and you doing, I know it sounds corny,
Mm-hmm.
but what me and you are doing is brave, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what we are doing, is brave because there's guys that wish they can talk what we talk about. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, in just an hour and 20 minutes, bro, we gave. This is deep. This is more depth
Yeah.
than niggas than a lot of niggas had 5 past live streams, man.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Probably within a year. Um. Well, the reason, also the reason why I do this, the reason why I won't compromise my message is, I'm focusing on the potency of the product that I push out there, because if I push this out there, then the audience that's here, they grow from that, and from growing from that, it challenges me to grow. You know what I'm saying? And for me to ascend even higher, to present an even better product. You know, it's really about that growth. It's about the evolution. First you challenge your audience, and then your audience challenges you, because we can't be talking about the same things that we're talking about this time next year. We're going to be on something else. you know it's like English 101, English 102, English 103. you know you have to, what I'm saying, you have to put stuff out there to where as though it demands something from your audience, and then your audience demands something from you. you know we might not have 100,000 subscribers or whatever the case may be, but we have the potency, and we have thinking men always in our spaces. You know what I'm saying?
that's
That's the
true.
blessing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Um. Stubbs is right, bro. Like when I hear a dude talking about, a chick is his better half, and I'm like, what makes her? What makes her? Okay, if you say she's your half, okay, I get it. Male female polarity, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
if you say she's your better half, in what way is she your better half? You're doing
Mm-hmm.
most of the work as a man. She
Mm-hmm.
expects you to provide entertainment, emotional stimulation. She has a lot of these expectations already
Mm-hmm.
of, and it's your job
Mm-hmm.
in her mind to fulfill that. So how is
Mm-hmm.
she your better half? A lot of women capitalize off the fact a lot of guys don't see their own value. They capitalize.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know your worth, you'd be like us on right now.
Mm-hmm. That's ill, right? That's so much truth to that, because they seek out guys like that. They seek out easier targets. Now,
Exactly.
you can sit there and say like, yeah, you build yourself up, you're thorough, you're on point, you have your things situated, right? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be intimidating to a woman. She'd rather deal with a guy, you know. Um, Now, mind you, stuff is stuff, right? People say, it's different between stuff confidence, self confidence, right? Okay, you can have stuff, right? But you don't have the self confidence, because you only identify yourself with the stuff. A woman's going to basically deal with you. She's going with that guy. because then he's going to basically come out as wild, so peel. That's what a woman's going to call you arrogant or selfish or immature, because you're not peeling off rip. You're not paying to get her hair did, her nails done. You're not paying for her bills. You're not paying, you know what I'm saying? You're not buying her, purses or other dumb shit, right? Because you have enough sense. You have a minute. I work 70 to 80 hours a week, or I'm out here grinding. I'm out here doing this. You're not like what Drake said. You wasn't in the gym shooting with me. So how the fuck do you think you should be drinking champagne and holding a trophy with me, bitch? It's off rip.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And a lot of chicks, bro, you know what they do? Because of their own insecurity, they will sabotage you. So they will see your growth as a man. They will sabotage you. Because think about it, bro. Let's say you're trying to be a platinum artist, right? Let's use music as an example. She knows that she's gonna be left behind. She'll say things to like really break you down. That's why, bro, sometimes when you see these guys be getting yelled at from these chicks, sometimes, bro, it ain't cause the nigga isn't on point. It's cause the nigga's on point and she's insecure about that. You know? See, this is the type of game and knowledge you're not gonna get from a dating coach. And I'm not a dating coach, but I'm giving you guys a lot of female psychology that is not talked about in these red pill space. They'll say, "Oh, if a chick yells at a guy on the street, oh, he's beta." Sometimes, bro, you're just on point. You're just on point as a man. You might go through a period of just straight consistency, and she feels insecure. You're on point. You're making 8 times more money than you was last year. That stuff will make a chick insecure because you know what she's thinking about? She's not thinking about the fact you're getting more. She's thinking about the access to other women that's probably better than her.
You speaking real shit, because that's actually what happened to one of my exes. Off rip, just even the simple shit, like within the company, I was, what I'm saying, basically one of the top salespeople, and that was making her insecure because of the growth. And not just that, it's just the daily disciplines, because I would get up early. I'd plan my day. I got my little planner. I'm writing shit down. I'm basically, what do you call it? Making the bed. I'm doing it myself. I'm preparing everything, getting everything prepped up, 2 hours before I leave. Just the consistency of that was making her feel uncomfortable. And she even said that, like, you could go out and replace me easily. It'll be more difficult for me to replace you. Like, you can't replace me, for one. And I could have been replaced you a long time ago before this even came about. See, the thing is, you weren't paying attention to this. You were paying attention to, the thing, paying attention to me. See, what a lot of women fail to realize is that, the guy that they met in the beginning isn't the same guy that they've dealt with 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 9 months, and so on, because he grew. They're not paying attention to your growth. They're not paying attention to your actual internal growth. They're paying attention to the outside shit, and that's what's making them insecure.
Exactly. Well, I will say this. Sometimes your internal growth is going to make them insecure because you become foreign to them, So it's going to execute on the outside.
Interesting. So
So
you think as a man, huh?
Like, let's say you mature a lot faster than the woman that's around you, So if you mature faster, then the stuff that used to work on you is not going to work no more. Which therefore is going to make her insecure. Like, people say women are ruled by their hypergamy. You could say that, but they're ruled by their insecurity. Insecurity is woman's god. She would jeopardize security. She would jeopardize all that. You you can provide, you could be a millionaire. You can provide a chick life. Steph Curry and Aisha Curry. Aisha is jealous of Steph.
And this
Yeah,
dude's a god, a
yes,
basketball
yes, he
god.
is. He is, but she's jealous because
Mm,
there was a time when he was beneath her in her mind.
mm-hmm,
Now, because of what he's accomplished, she's in the back burner, and she hates it. She
mm,
hates it. She
mm,
literally hates it. She
mm,
hates being in the back burner because she knows his value is so much more. And again, a lot of black women, they cannot deal with a man at that level. You know, chicks
mm-hmm,
be talking about, oh, you know, I wish I could have a man like Drake. No, you cannot. You know,
mm-hmm.
Drake will amplify your insecurities. You know,
Yep. Mm-hmm,
will amplify it because you're gonna be checking his phone, and you really expect a man that if he DMs a chick, and she sees, like, let's say he DMs an IG model. You think the IG model is gonna be like, nah, that's Drake. I ain't gonna respond. Even if she's not attracted to the nigga, she'll entertain it.
mm-hmm,
Oh, Drake want to talk to me? You know all how petty they think. So,
mm-hmm,
a chick gonna make Drake's life a living hell because she feels insecure by just how dope, by how big Drake is, regardless of his flaws.
mm-hmm,
He could pee in the bed, and
mm-hmm.
she'll make that the argument day and night. That's why you a pee on the bed ass nigga. So what? He got a mansion and maids to clean it up after. You feel me?
It's-
But it's going to make her insecure. You
It,
know,
it, and the reason why it makes them insecure because it challenges their delusional godhood to them. Like if you look at other races of women, other races of women know innately that they were created to serve their man. And they might sit there and spew out the same shit that black women do, but black women inherently believe that that they that the black man was created to serve her. Like she's God, you know, and she's she's magical and shit. The only thing is magical about her is her going to the abortion clinic and killing the baby.
damn, damn, damn.
That's the truth.
For my listeners, the listeners in the panel, you know,
Mm-hmm.
soak up what Ice just said, man. And that's brutal, but that is
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these chicks, you know, because of conditioning, they really do have that belief. Yo, you know what pissed me off recently, bro? Speaking of that, I seen this chick. She shared. I said she shared. She shared an IG story of her
Mm-hmm.
son rubbing her feet, and she was like, "I love being a mom." I said, "You goddamn nigga!" Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh damn. Yeah, I'm like, you nigga. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like that's your 4-year-old. You know, he shouldn't be rubbing your feet. You know, if you have him sweeping, okay, that's one thing. But rubbing your feet, that tells me what she's on psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of black women subconsciously they think like overseers, bro.
Oh yeah, that's why I call them the nigger gods. And the thing is, they are responsible for creating the men that's out here right now. Then they get mad. They want to complain. How the fuck do you create, a fag or a simp or a fucking, murderous dude, and then, this is basically what you are. This is what you create because this is who you are. So you create this, and then you're mad. It's ridiculous. No accountability. So it's like, do you really take them seriously or personally? I said you shouldn't. I've said it in various, videos. But I really oppose that question. You take them seriously or personally in regards to saying if you're a man, you want to expand um, yourself in that certain way, as far as adding, a seed on this earth and whatnot, or even taking one up, do you take these women seriously? I mean, if you look at, the psychology, especially if you're evolving, you become more um, distant from the black woman because the black woman thinks so different from the white man. And as you're thinking like a god, You know, how can two people that are unequally yoked be in the same space? Like, how can a God and a devil be in the same space? So,
You,
what I want
you,
to oppose.
you know what's crazy? You speaking on that? White men will see your value before a black woman. That's the irony.
Yeah, that's facts.
They'll see your value over before a black chick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, you know, after having these conversations, like just memories just been flashing back. Like
Mm-hmm.
my former boss at my last job was a black woman, bro, and she used to
Mm-hmm.
be. I mean, she was critical with people, but it's like when it came to me, damn, like, because I was a stock associate at all those shoes, man, and let me tell you, like, she was just critical of me, man, like
Mm-hmm.
hella critical. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she'd be like, she said one time, bro, is one of the things that turned me off, man. It was September
Mm-hmm.
2017. She was like, you know, you do a good job. You just piss me off sometimes. I almost strangled her, bro. I
No, that's it.
almost did because it's like I put in so much work. Like real talk, I've done countless double shifts
Mm-hmm.
over there. You can't be saying I piss you off because there's no way in hell that you can just say, you know, I piss you off with all the
Mm-hmm.
extra stuff I'm dealing with. You can't just say something like that. But that's how they think. And guess what's the irony, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other managers at other stores, they wanted to hire me because my work was extremely proficient.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on point as a man.
Mm-hmm.
So by me being on point, it amplified her insecurity as a boss, even though what I did benefited her.
Facts. I've been
So
there.
so guys, you have to understand how insecurities rule them, bro. You have to understand like this. I'm gonna do a drop on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like lately, bro, I've been writing down titles. I gotta get to these drops, you know.
Yeah.
But real talk, bro. Like real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like insecurity are these broads gods. And you know what's worse about? You said she probably had a crush on you, fam. It's hard. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say
Yo, that the bro.
because
I'm
yeah.
gonna say
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead.
The reason why I'm saying that because when I was working at University of Penn, and it's funny because it's my homie's mother. You know what I'm saying? And you know when I came in, she used to say like little slick stuff like, you know, she asked me because I was young. I was like about 20, 21. She's like, yeah, you ever had a threesome? Da-da-da. It's like, no. At that time, I didn't. So she was like, oh, okay. Well, you never know that stuff might happen. So then she would say little stuff like that. And then one time she asked me, you know, she had a piece of a muffin. She wanted to share that with me, and I was just like, no. I said, you know, not realizing I dismissed her, not realizing it, and that created problems for me down the stretch. But I didn't really think nothing of it because she was a married woman, but she had a
Wow.
thing. And because of that, she was going after me, man. One time she tried to get me written up for something, but I actually had it I took pictures of the time.
I got a quick question, Ice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
was she like black chick?
Yeah, yeah. You already know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was basically using her position to kind of get what she wanted. She was sleeping with other guys at the job, but because she couldn't sleep with me, she created hell. So I ended up having to leave. But that's when I dove into high-end retail sales, which kind of worked out for me, you know, down the stretch. But at the time, it was just like, you know, I was pretty much in a pretty decent position. But it was just like she was creating hell. Because that's the thing, you know. See, the thing is, with women, they don't understand the word no. And with a lot of these guys, they can't say no. That
You still there, Ice?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, seemed like it was like cutting off.
It was fading
Yeah,
out. Yeah, it was his mom. Yeah, it was his mom. That's my homie too. Good homie. You know, his mom wanted me to slide. The mom, I mean, she wasn't bad. I mean, she was like I gave her a nickel. You know what I'm saying? I like them tall, whatever like that. But she wasn't anything I'd be like, you know, I'll write home about, you know. But you know, she was definitely out of pocket. He said,
Yeah,
"Mom over pooping you." Yeah, big facts. But see, the thing is, that's another thing. That's always been one of my other things because I would unintentionally dismiss women and not realize it, and that would come back and bite me in the ass at every
man.
job.
Damn. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy you
Mm-hmm.
say that because
Mm-hmm.
talk, bro. My um my boy's mom offered wine, bro, and I'm like, dog, it's the middle of the afternoon. Like, real talk, bro. Like, there's certain things that people do that, like, in my mind, it's like red flags, bro. Like,
Yeah.
why would you offer me one? Even if your son is right there, like, why would you offer me wine? You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
wine is a sexual drink. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
feel me?
Okay. It's go time. I
Yeah,
remember.
exactly,
I
exactly,
remember.
bro.
I remember my boy, Dude. His mom came outside. We were outside chilling. So this was back when we were teenagers and whatnot. And she was like, you know, we used to always joke when her said she had Tourette syndrome or whatever like that. She just pop out some shit out her face. So she came out cussing, da da da. What are you doing in my house? I was like, no, I was at home. She's like, oh, you must have just been in my dream. And she rubbed my shoulder right in front of my boy. I was like, oh shit. Because we used to always, you know, play the dozens. We would rank on each other like, yeah, I'll pop your mom, da da da. And this chick actually did that. I was just like, oh no, this is not good. Man, out of pocket, man.
It is. It is, man. It is.
Mm.
It goes to show you, man. It goes to show you, like, guys got to be careful when it comes to these moms, man. You have to be careful because real talk, you know, she won't not care if she's sleeping with her son friend. She will not care, especially
Mm-hmm.
if she thinks you look like something, bro.
Mm. Oh
You know,
wait, Rich said sometimes they act like that because they don't know how to communicate their feelings. It happens to me a lot. Yeah.
black women, bro. As far as communicating their feelings, they are some of the worst. They don't know how to execute their emotions, bro. Yo, yo, tell me why I was on the bus today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm headed home, and this black chick, I could tell she was just looking for something. You know, you should have a mask on, bro. The mask was on me. It just didn't fully cover my mouth because I was on the phone. You feel me?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And I'm like, you're gonna single me out, and I'm 2 bus stops away from like the crib. Like, come on, man. Like, you just wanted something to complain about.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring this up is because my boss at Aldo, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has a reputation among the company. So what stops a lot of black women from leveling up is their personality. That's what stops them from leveling up.
Mm.
So when they think of things like racism, they're like other lesser equipped people are put in higher positions than them, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that it's simply mostly because of the attitude and the personality. You
Mm-hmm.
know, how many black guys have said, "Man, I can't stand the black woman in HR." You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so the reason why I'm saying this is because those other managers, they were different races of people.
Mm-hmm.
So because black women don't see the value in us, other races of women do on some level.
And they get mad
They
because,
do.
and they get mad because they don't get seen as that. They only get seen as a sexual object, a fetish.
Exactly. Exactly. And even though we're seen in that light too, we are
Mm-hmm.
seen in that light, but
Mm-hmm.
they're seen as a sexual object below the white woman. That's what frustrates them. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
bring up arguments about colorism and and whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like real talk, a lot of women push colorism, bro.
Yeah.
You know, they push that. I'll never
Mhm.
forget O'Shea, bro. He I don't know if it was a stream or a drop, but he was saying that his mother and his mom is like super old school. When he was a kid, don't bring no dark skinned woman home. And O'Shea's
Dang.
mom was a dark skinned woman.
Wow. Wow.
So if O'Shea was the type of person who grew up just liking light skinned women, I mean, think about where he got that from.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, fellas, for lack of a better term, sometimes you're just on point as a man, and they come at you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and that's the thing when it comes to women, like you gotta really have discernment. Because sometimes, man, they could be going in on you when you're not on point, but then they could amplify, they could turn it up 2 times more when you're just on point, bro. It,
Yep.
it doesn't matter, bro.
Look at Nature Boy, for example. Now he's got 5 wives.
Yeah,
All the women are, beautiful, submissive to him. You see how these women out here are basically bashing this guy, bringing up his past, trying to smear him. And I said, I think I said on a community post, you know, when you're the chosen one, everyone's out to dim your light. It's your job to, discover it. And then once you discover it, protect it. And then once you know how to, protect it, proficiently and effectively, nobody can do shit with it.
yeah, that's
But that's
true.
the process. That's the process where everyone's at. That's the process where I'm at. I'm learning how to protect my light. I'm learning as I'm cultivating it. So yeah, there's going to be people fighting against it. They're going to smear you. They're going to throw things on your jacket. But the truth will always remain. The truth will always stand as the truth. Either you're going to be ignorant to it or disagree with it. That's up to you. But the truth is still the truth. And when you the truth, it is what it is. You know.
I'm glad you brought that up because like we did a drop called Chosen One Theory.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a very cool panel too.
Absolutely.
Man, all the panels we dropped be cold, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like it connects to that. Like when you're the chosen one, like I won't say you're living like a celebrity, but all the spotlight is on you,
Yep.
regardless.
You're an enemy of the state because you're the agent of chaos. Because what I mean by the agent of chaos is that the disorder is the order of shit. What you see right now, this is the order of things.
Yeah,
But you coming in from a different perspective, a different way of life, you become the chaos.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
in the actual order of how things are supposed to be. You're bringing into things that are supposed to be into existence. So it's going to have that resistance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Real talk. To those in the panel, if you feel
Mm,
like asking questions, because I mean, we even though we are free flowing, and I do enjoy talking to you guys and responding.
absolutely.
Feel free, man.
Exactly. Salute to Man Cave. Salute to Ice Turner Senior. Thanks for everything. Wise Panel, piece of the chat. I have to do my count. Exactly, man. Go get that paper, bro. You already know.
Hey, salute, Big Rich,
Mm-hmm.
salute. But yeah, man. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Like, we don't bite. I
Yeah.
like answering people's questions in the
Yeah.
panels.
This is the purpose what I like about the live streams. Like when I do the uploads, it's cool. I already have, the ready-made thought, whatever like that. Like this is more so, this is an opportunity for, us to engage, each other,
Exactly, exactly. And that's the thing about the live streams that that is just so dope. It's more interactive, you know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a lot more interactive, so it's more immediate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like doing a live stream is like a not the live stream, but doing a regular drop is more like how should I say it?
I was,
It's more like a DVD
yeah.
that you know you send to somebody and they
Absolutely.
just they take it. But doing
I
a
was gonna say
live stream, it's like being at a sitcom and you're sitting in an audience.
exactly. I was gonna say it's the difference between your uploads is more like a mixtape. Your live stream is more like a live album.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like going live stream is like going on tour, you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because people can, you know, once they get the playback, they could pick like what they, you know, what they like about it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they could also pick certain parts that they favor. You feel
Yep.
me?
Absolutely. And that's the thing I've learned even now that like you you can build your channel up to where so you can go live, then you build up to where so you have the community board. You can see what people are more engaging to. Like my uploads, I couldn't tell my subs were going up, but my views weren't as far as with the uploads. But when I started going live, the views were sticking. And then with the community
Yeah,
board, it's more interactive. It's like, okay, so this is what they want to see me go live. It's like for a while, my uploads wasn't getting no love. They was like, nah, man, you gotta go live, homie. We ain't jacking that.
yeah, exactly, man,
hmm
exactly,
hmm
and that's the thing right there, man. You know, you gotta this whole thing like with YouTube, it's a learning experience. You know,
Uh-huh.
no one can 100% figure out YouTube. Like I got this in my back hand. Like
hmm
a lot of people who think like that either are delusional or they're really sponsored. You know,
hmm Yep.
it's just it's just an experience, man. It's just an
hmm
experience.
Absolutely.
Do you think in you know past situations that um Ice, being that you're older than I, what are some things have you appreciated in your cup to later digest? That's a good ass question.
Said with some things. Um, Patience. I learned to appreciate patience. Um, and understanding the practice of patience because back then I was not patient for anything, or I would try to be patient, but it was just I was restraining myself, but not really being patient, not really trusting the process of things, um, and not really being. What I appreciate now is really being in the awareness of who I am. Back then, I have an idea of who I am. When I was younger, you know, I get certain reactions. I wouldn't think, too much of it. It's just like, okay, I was doing my thing, but really being aware of who I am and what I would like to present to the world. Um, Also, the responsibility of that. You know, I learned to appreciate that. I learned to appreciate everything that's, given to me, as well as the things that haven't been given to me. You know, I've learned to look at things um, through more than just one perspective, than just, looking at things like, like what a lot of guys they look at for a woman. We'll use this for example. It's something we can all reference to, like a woman ghosting on you, a woman flaking on you, a woman, changing her mind, right? You would automatically assume that that's a bad thing. A lot of cases, that's actually a good thing. If you're really growing, more will fall by the wayside. And it's based on what you're presenting. You're as kind of like the stern parent. As you get older, your principles become more solidified to you and become more of your way of life. So you're not going to be, bending or yielding or whatever like that, and to a certain extent you can be flexible, but more so you're going to be stern about your principles, stern about what is expected for whoever is in front of you. You become more solidified in yourself, to yourself. I think that's one of the things that you learn to appreciate. You actually have that balance, because the other things, you might have felt like you had it together. I feel like, idea, I thought I had it together at 24, 25, but then 10 years later, I realized how many dumb decisions I made. You know what I'm saying? How many mistakes, and like, damn, I'm not really, what the fuck? There's like 10 years from now, like, how I might think I have it going on 10 years from now. I'll look back at 39, like, damn, I was really on some dumb shit in certain areas. You appreciate the process, you appreciate the growth and the learning curve. How about you, man Cave? You're about 24, 25.
Honestly, man, I could say as far as where I'm at in my life right now, um, I could say that less people are around. Like, honestly, bro, I feel more free.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel more free. Like, there's less people I'm dealing with. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of fallouts recently, and I could say firmly, like, I could just tell I'm in a transition period.
Mm-hmm.
You being where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
To answer Chef Man Jay's question, Man Cave, as you fulfill your role as a black sheep, how has it hardened your focus on your goals, or has it? Honestly, bro, I have a newfound focus. I have a newfound focus. So, yeah, it has. It has. Like, it has, bro. Because one of my goals, bro, is to embody self-actualization even more. I know it sounds cliche because, like, I talk about it a lot, but seriously, like, I really do. I really do. And when it comes to being a black sheep, I'm learning that you can't. Like, it's one thing to be a black sheep, and it's another to be ahead of your time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, being a black sheep just means that you don't really fit in.
Mm-hmm.
But being ahead of your time, you almost have to force patience upon yourself, because if you don't, it's going to drive you nuts, because people are not going to get it. They're
Uh,
not going to get where you're coming from. Like, self-actualization for a 24-year-old, bro, is difficult. It's difficult because women don't relate to you, men don't relate to you. you
mm-hmm.
know it's a
Absolutely.
weird position to be in, bro, because
Absolutely.
the temptation right now, bro, is through the roof. It's really through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It's through the roof, because
Mm-hmm.
you want it on some level. You want to cave in.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait,
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to add to that. Even I still go through that process of people falling by the wayside. The thing that I learned with that, um, forgiveness, because you got to understand that most men are going to fold. You know, I expected, guys to live by the same code that I live by, you know, and they fold. Like, say if you got a $10 million plan, and then somebody, bellies up, at $10,000, that basically they're only telling you that they were only worth $10,000, even though they told you they were worth $10 million in the plan, but they weren't. They were just saying to go along. But as your vibration grew, you know, it basically exposed them to themselves, and they just fell by the wayside. And they did something to sabotage themselves. So you, what you learn going along is, okay, you might feel a way, your feelings might be hurt, but you have to forgive. It's that process of forgiving. Is like Jesus, the guy asked Jesus how many times you forgive. He says something about 7 times 77 or something of that statute, but it's like you have to be in the process of forgiving people. And it's not so much you're forgiving them for them, you're forgiving them for yourself. Because whenever you don't forgive them, you stunt your own growth and they become the masters of you.
Man, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I want to answer this question by Dave. How
Mm-hmm.
would you gentlemen go about accepting your mother back after discovering the BS that you've experienced up growing up in a single mother household? Well, I'm gonna be honest, man. My mom's was, she was bipolar, so I didn't. What's the word I can use? I was living with her on and off until I was like 7. So I live with my pops, ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say firmly that stuff it does scar you, but you
Uh-huh.
have to get to a point where that's her experience, that's her life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just triumph. You can't just try. You have to be triumphant.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta have to move forward from that, because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you know, she being a woman was a wreck anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So her being a single mother,
Mm-hmm.
she was gonna be a wreck anyway, even more so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And real talk, man, oftentimes she's a single mother for a reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, bro, sometimes these chicks are single mothers because it was their karma from dealing with the wrong type of guy. I ain't saying your pops is a bad guy. I'm saying it could be karma from before she met, your dad. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Certain times karma hits years later,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to accept her for who she is and keep it pushing,
Exactly.
or limit your contact at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's the least you can do, and just accept that you have no control over who she is, and just move forward.
Absolutely. Because when she was taught from her household, the biggest revelation I came across um, was that, my mother, you know, was a female, and my father was a male. That's the biggest revelation. What I mean by that, we put them on this title, this position, we glorify them like, okay, this is your mother, this is your father. They can't do no wrong. But at the end of the day, they're human, and with being human, and a lot of us, black people, and just really the civilization as a whole, we have children before we're actually ready to be a parent, before we're ready even to be an adult. Because it's you get caught up in sex and emotions, and you have a kid, and you haven't really even figured out yourself as well as the world around you. But then you have children. A lot of people have birthed children based on dysfunctional relationships, or so the relationship was down the shitter. But they said, okay, we have a kid, it'll be all right. But it actually made it even worse. It just amplified it.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because people think having, especially women, they think having children is going to make them closer, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is not true. It's not true because most people don't have a solid foundation to begin with. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they don't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so if you don't have a solid foundation to begin with, and you have a child, you're bringing a child into your chaos. That's
Oh
just
yeah,
how it is. You're bringing a child into your chaos. So they think it makes them adults.
facts.
Man, bro, that's true, and it doesn't. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think being an adult and being responsible or having responsibilities are synonymous with each other. That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Being an adult is a mindset. It's a
Mm-hmm.
mindset to be an adult. Any nigga can be 21, 22 years old with a job. It's another thing being mentally 21 and 22. Most
Mm-hmm.
people are not mentally past the age of 12. If we being realistic, this is why you have sandbox, ass politics that be going on in
Mm-hmm.
in in jobs, bro. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are childish. Like
Mm-hmm.
most women, bro. Like real talk, if you're evolved as a man, bro,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a chick, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's almost a pedophile like relationship
Yo.
because you're she's the age of 9 mentally, and you're the age of 50.
Mm. Tell me about it.
And real talk, and I want to respond to what Chef Man was saying. He said a child will only amplify things and won't solve things. Just like getting one meal, if you don't know what to do or what you're doing with it, won't matter. Yeah, I want to see this. A lot of guys will be like, "Don't be single mothers because the kid is a burden." Fam, real talk, bro. And again, this ain't stuff dating coaches will tell you. The kids are probably half as bad as she is.
Yeah.
Yo, real talk, bro. This
Mm-hmm.
again, this is game. You're not gonna hear on Steph is Cold Alpha. You're not gonna hear this.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even disrespect to those guys, but it just goes to show you the levels.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those kids, bro, are looking for a nigga who can just guide them, a nigga who can give them order.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they really need. Is just
Mm-hmm.
someone who gives a damn to give them order. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of kids are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you have the mom, she's a big baby, but she's too prideful. She think she wants assistance when she wants assistance. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The kids want assistance and attention so that they can have someone who can give them a blueprint to get older. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. It's
And
I,
they say
I
women mature quickly. Fam, women do not. Well, I'm not saying you're wrong per se, but in my opinion, I don't believe women mature faster. They try to say statistically women mature. No, they do not. Their
that's bullshit.
bodies mature faster, but they don't. Maturity isn't limited to just physicality.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't.
Mm-hmm.
There's men with gray hair that are childish. I mean, look at your liquor stores, man. You know,
Yo, the crazy thing is, there's women I've interacted with that were only 20 years old, and there's women I've interacted with that were 40, and it was really not too much of a difference. The only really was, one had more bitterness and regrets, and they said like women get better with age. They get uh more regressive with age, um, and more defensive because they totally get wise. Like, no, you kept dealing with dumb niggas, and then you charge somebody that was actually decent, that gave a fuck about you a certain way, then you end up folding and fucking up with that, and you're back to the trash because you have to have a guy that matches who you are. Like attracts like. Water doesn't seep. Water only seeps its own level. So you hear women complain about you know certain men. They're like, oh, this guy ain't shit. All men ain't shit. Da da da. I was like, no, you ain't shit.
yeah,
What you
that's
have
true.
is a reflection of you.
That's true because chicks, bro, chicks can actually find a man that's willing to save them. You know,
Yeah.
this is why I say like, if you're a lot of women, they have like a safety net. That's why it's harder for them to mature because
Mm,
when they fall, there's someone there to pick them up. You
mm,
know, they don't like chicks be like, man, I made it through out the mud, and on some level, there's some truth to that,
mm,
but it's not the same journey as a man.
mm,
Think about it, bro. I went through
mm.
so much. Have you been in? Nah, hell no, man. I've
Yeah.
only been in situations like that, but nah.
I did um once for a light season, and I think I might have been around your age, Chef. She was like 36. She had two kids. It wasn't a relationship; it was a situationship. We were just friends with benefits. But I was around children, after a short period of time, and I can see the difference. Even the daughter looked at me differently. Like, it's a balance. Like, wow, it's no chaos in the household because I come by there and visit. Um, I check on their homework. You know, go over it with them, go over whatever happened with their day. I seen the improvements in their behavior after a short period of time, but the mother was out of pocket, and then I kind of had to remove myself from the situation. But then I kind of wondered about the kids, because I that time, and to them, and it just know it's like you kind of just knew what they needed, versus what she didn't really know. It's like she just had the kid because she was trying to trap the guy. So I've had that experience.
I'm glad you brought that up, because like what you said it validated extremely everything I just said.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
it validated it, because the kids aren't even at guys be thinking like the kids are the real burdens.
mm,
Kids are a burden. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but they're
mm,
nowhere near as a burden, especially if you're trying to like invest into her, like a lot of these guys, man. And the reason why I've been close to dealing with single moms, bro, because I the thing with me, people tell me things. So by people telling me things, bro, there's certain things that those broads tell me that expose themselves. Like she told me she was dealing with this dude, right? And
mm.
I tested the dude. I was like, yo, how good is that pussy? Like I played mind games on both of them. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not normally that type of guy, but it was just the situation at hand, because I was like, oh.
Good thing.
So she tells me something like, she was basically trying to force sex on me and all this. Mind you, she got 3 baby fathers, and I was like, my soul just was like, nah. Like it's already bad enough. Like, I already think it's bad enough if you have 2, but if you have 3, all
Mm,
3 are from different men. Nah, I can't rock with that,
mm-hmm.
because it tells me you're the problem.
Exactly. You're reckless.
Yeah, and you preyed on those men oftentimes, because
Mm,
there's no way there's no way your baby father is second baby father is man cave,
yeah.
and then your third is top chakra. Like, and there's no way in hell that all of those are solid.
Mm-hmm. None of, none of them were solid. And when you really know that baby father's like, oh, really? And then you got to look at the fact that even with the mindset of these women, I remember this young lady that said, well, at least, we have a child together. So, and I posed this, I was like, okay, if I don't really qualify you, if you're not really even qualified to be my wife, then why would I have a child with you? That's something I think is a little bit more important. That's a much greater loss, in my opinion. Having a child with you, things don't go well, then I gotta do things with the child, and and go through the stress of that versus a divorce.
Yeah, man, it's that serious, man. It's really that serious. Like, she was looking for a father figure and someone to take care of her. Yeah, it's the irony talk, bro. These chicks will look for a father figure and want to control that said father figure
Mm-hmm.
that they desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sick duality, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, man. I think guys should invest in books like Dark Psychology, man. Because
Mm-hmm.
real talk, I ain't gonna front. I feel like I've been a little too merciful for too long with these bras, man. I'm gonna admit it, man. I'm gonna admit it. I ain't saying
Mm-hmm.
I'm a simp either. I'm just saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
I've allowed them to stay in my life longer, you know.
Yeah,
So might as well just use them for what they got, you know.
exactly. I come to that understanding, and I've been called a bunch of things, but at the end of the day, you know women essentially do not care about you because they don't care about themselves. Ultimately, if a woman actually cared about herself, she wouldn't be, behaving a certain way. She wouldn't be in a space of lack. She wouldn't say, "Oh, I can't find a man, or I can't find a husband, I can't find this." She would actually be doing things as necessary to level up. She wouldn't be, letting anyone. She wouldn't be a crash dummy with her mind, body, spirit, finances, time, and reality. What women do, they seek, distractions, and then those distractions show that those are bad decisions, and then she goes looks for another distraction to distract her from that bad decision to an even worse decision. Women spend their lives.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up, bro.
Mhm.
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up because it's a
Uh-huh.
never-ending cycle with
Mhm.
most of them. They
Mhm.
try to distract themselves. So let's say, she's at a party, and niggas run a train on her. She feels shame, like, damn, I'm a slut. She might have liked it, but then after the fact, damn, I'm a slut. Okay, let me find, you know, let me go on Tinder and look for a date. Yeah, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, talk. Like, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with using people. That's how society.
Misuse.
Using people is the thing. Abusing people is another. I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
But yeah, back to the thing I was saying. So a chick, will be at a party, niggas run the chain on her. Then, she'll find a distraction. She'll go on Tinder saying, I need a guy who's easygoing. She gets matched up, goes to dinner with him, and then she knows the nigga want to sleep with him with her, and she's like, my stomach hurt, so she used the nigga for food. She goes home. Uh, a nigga from the situation, a nigga in a situationship with her comes over. She gets her back blown out the next day, the next morning, or whatnot. Then she calls her homegirls to come over and be like, all niggas want is sex. Goes on social media, another distraction,
Mhm.
types three posts saying, I'm so loyal, I do this, I do that, I'm a strong woman, blah 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 blah. And then the cycle keeps going over, and then looks at motivational quotes online, making herself feel better. Bro, I got these chicks down to a science, bro. Like it's just like,
Mhm.
it's like the way they just think, man. Like they literally drown in their own feelings, bro. They
Yeah.
literally drown.
Yeah. A
Or
life
they
of.
put no one night stands in the bio, bro. Any chick who does that is a straight slut. Like real talk,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
She fell victim to that. It's like she fell victim 48 times to that already. So it's like, oh, I gonna go for it for the 49th time. See.
yeah, because bro, they're trying to escape from reality.
Mhm.
They're trying to escape from, because women can feel the truth, but they're trying to escape from them feeling the truth.
Mhm. That's
So what
that's.
they, what they what they use, they try to go from one field to the next,
Mhm.
even though they know deep inside the truth. So
Mhm.
if the truth is ugly to them, they're gonna avoid that feeling of truth because it feels bad.
Mhm.
Like you were saying early in the stream, they choose what's easy.
Mhm.
Man, we've been flowing so much. I didn't even know it was 2 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that shit. Yo, this is yeah, it's out. It's the truth though. Yo, these chicks are dickheads, man. Like that's why, yo, I almost see. I almost would subscribe to the whole pump and dump, but that comes with deception. Like at the end of the day, I think you should just be upfront. Like if you really don't have time, to be dealing with all the fuckery and shit. Like I don't have the mind time or the tolerance, you know, for the foolishness and the silliness of these females, man. Like I'm just like, look, this is what I want to do. This is what it is. You know, if that's where you're at, like if you just want to knock them down, like for me, I gotta make them more usable. Like, you know, as I said before, like to me it's a business. We can make some money together. You know, that's first and foremost. You know, that will cause me to like you. That will cause me to want to, you know, be a little bit more intimate with you. But, you know, if I can't even do that with you, I don't even want to fuck with you.
Yeah, man. You have to be like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have to lie to themselves, man. They have to. They,
Mm-hmm.
because that's their way of coping. That's why I
Yeah.
say their insecurities are their God. You know,
Mm-hmm.
their insecurities, man. It
Mm-hmm.
their insecurities are their God to the point where you can give them the greatest chance of survival, but if it doesn't feel good, they'll avoid it.
Yep.
They they rather take they rather take the heat of hell
Mm-hmm.
versus the light of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
If the light of heaven shows their shadows, you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So they
Said
rather
what?
go to hell and burn because they they don't have to see the shadow. All they
Mm-hmm.
gotta do is feel the flames. That's how
Mm-hmm.
serious it is, bro.
Oh yeah. It's funny because even in the Quran they said more than half of them will burn in hellfire. And a lot of people look at, you know, the afterlife. I'm looking at it as right now. Now, if you look at the jihad, that's internal conflict. A lot of these women are suffering from defeat. They're defeated already. They're already finished. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of their problems, a lot of their debt, a lot of the shit they have going on in their life is self-inflicted. But
It is. It is.
they shift the blame on other people instead of themselves. Like, you fucked up your life.
That's
They
true,
don't
man.
know. You know, just like if the guy, I remember this girl, I remember I actually, you know, go on little dates, you know. I remember this one girl told me her ex-boyfriend, you know, slap her around. And I was like, good boy. Shit, you had it coming to you. A man, I mean, even these guys, you know, the most unbalanced man still has more balance than these females. So she must have did something. She didn't talk about what she did to cause that.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the thing, bro. I'm glad you brought that up because real talk, what I'm gonna say is so mind blowing. But
Mm-hmm,
some chicks, bro,
mm-hmm,
well, I don't even think it's mind blowing now thinking about it. But some chicks, bro, they don't need domestic violence because they feel, you know, they feel like, you know, they deserve it. Some chicks need domestic violence to feel like you give a damn about them. Like
it's true.
Like Chef was saying, bro,
Mm-hmm.
these chicks be ruining. These chicks be ruining like they be ruining good situations because they feel like the man doesn't care. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
he's not slapping me, he must not give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
chicks always bring up what happens to them, but they don't ever think about the souls of the men that they destroyed. You know,
Yo, he's so minute. It's true. And see, the guy that cares is the one that's arguing, yelling at her, screaming, and popping her upside the head. The nigga that doesn't care about is the nigga that's walking away. Like, all right, you know, God bless you.
yeah, I'll never like Chef Man Jay was saying earlier. Like my boss probably had a fantasy with me just choking her. She probably would have had an orgasm if I choked her just out like that.
Mm-hmm,
And then you know what she would have said? You can't leave this job or else I'm calling the police. And I
mm-hmm,
want some dick too.
mm-hmm,
Situations like that, bro.
mm-hmm.
the Renzo interview, he was saying like his female boss forced him to sleep with him.
Mm.
You want to keep this job? You better give me some dick. That's how they operate, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, bro. These chicks will rather be. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. A
Yeah.
big reason why a lot of chicks don't want to be with a square is
Mm-hmm.
because that guy makes them look bad. His naive nature makes them look bad because they're always scheming.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes them feel guilty, and
Mm-hmm.
they can't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them feel shameful, and they can't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they'll be with a man that will beat their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yo, these black women are pieces of shit. I'm gonna get specific. Like, other women are pieces of shit, but it's just at different levels. You know, it's just like red shit and brown shit, pretty much. But these black women are definitely counteractive.
Man, man, like what you're saying is true, man. Like they're finished, bro. They're finished.
Yep.
And I'm not the type of guy to just project on them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not my fault. No, like I do partake in responsibility for things, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna just be like, oh, it's the man's fault 100%. No,
Mm-hmm.
she has to share responsibility
Mm-hmm.
because think about it. If she's running from shame, then there's guilt that she has. There's some guilt she has, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta make them feel that. Like chicks, bro. I view chicks like this, right? Because they have safety nets, like I was saying earlier, they have to
Mm-hmm.
literally fall on their ass over and over and over again. Men
Mm-hmm.
learn their mistakes. I'll give it probably between 4 to 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Men learn,
Mm-hmm.
but women, bro,
Mm-hmm.
because they have someone else that will save them,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's someone that they can shame, it takes
Mm-hmm.
them longer to learn things that you're actually telling them, especially in this society. There's too many safety nets. You
Absolutely.
know, it's too many safety nets. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you're gonna start seeing females switch up when the unemployment runs out. You know, they, talk, they're gonna talk.
Classic.
They're gonna talk. Black men aren't protecting. They're not gonna say that when unemployment runs out. I can get their tone will change. You
Mm-hmm.
you will start being hit up in DM. Hey, stranger, how you doing? No, I don't. We ain't got nothing to talk about because I already know where this is going. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. The crazy about it, these bitches now, we might have our mistakes and stuff like that, but for one, at least for some of us, our mistakes is not in front of your face, asking to play with your iPhone and just to watch Thomas the Train. For one, um, then for two is like these chicks are talking about not being rescued, but then really, not really even evaluating their attitude to reason why they're not going to be rescued. Like, who the fuck? Like, you want to basically get a ravenous wolf out of a bear trap, to save that motherfucker, but it's going to try to eat you. That's
Yeah, exactly.
ridiculous. These bitches are fucking insane. Like, it's just crazy. This is stuff that they come up
Yeah,
with. It's
yeah,
just like,
they are, and that's the thing. That's why they're so entitled because there's a safety net.
mm,
Entitlement stops when there's no safety net.
mm,
There's no safety net. Even
mm,
even a simp has to move on some level. Even a simp has to be on point with society, bro. They
mm,
have to be on point because
mm.
one mistake from a man could set you back 20 years.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Easily. One mistake
Mm-hmm.
from abroad can get
Mm-hmm.
her more help for the next 20 years.
Absolutely, exactly. So they're already begging the OnlyFans exactly what they should
Yeah,
do with me.
yeah, top. I agree with what you're saying. I definitely do. The thing is, bro,
Mm-hmm.
when unemployment runs out, most of these, you're gonna see an OnlyFans hierarchy. You're already seeing it now, and I made a video about this months ago. OnlyFans is gonna cause a great divide if you haven't built an OnlyFans audience, because once unemployment runs out, it affects the men. So if the men aren't working, the females can't get paid. It's gonna be a domino effect. So when these broads, when unemployment runs out, and you got these broads feeling high and mighty for showing some pussy, I'll never forget, bro. A chick I knew recently, she made an OnlyFans. Bro, this chick's a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, 5'10", no body. Bro, no one's gonna buy that. You know? No one's gonna buy that. And then when unemployment runs out, she's finished. You know, she's finished. So OnlyFans is a form of begging talk, but they're gonna start actually begging once unemployment runs out because of the domino effect of it. Now, obviously, the ones who's making 30,000 from it now a month, it's gonna probably be to probably 12 to 13,000, which is still a good amount of money. But the ones who just started within the past year, oh, they're finished. They're finished, bro. What was the OnlyFans comparison back in the day? Wick?
Yeah, they're crazy, man. They always, as I said before, they're always trying to put themselves in a position to be rescued because they can't deal with reality, as well as they can't deal with their own reality, their own shame. Like, I don't know if you've had your, I'm sure you've had your place before, right? You have your place, or as a woman you invite her over, she'll like leave some shit over there. Like I used to hate that shit. Some of them got the picture when I did them that, space. I would just throw this shit away. And some of it was pretty expensive. And they would get upset, like, damn, you just threw away, Tom Ford lipstick. Yeah, okay. Or you threw away my heels, yeah. It shouldn't be over here. Take it with you.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
But she got to put the craziest. She got to put out the crazy. Exactly. They be doing a wild stuff.
They do, but the entitlement, man. The entitlement.
How well they can swing a chandelier. There's one woman, I was working at a pharmacy company. Now, mind you, when women talk, you got to keep in mind they're only talking for themselves, for their selfish gain. Like this one guy I was working with, a simp. He was a married man, but he was trying to campaign for her. And they were saying, like, you're kind of like an old man that's that's recently divorced, has been married for 20 years or whatever like that. He said, why you don't want a wife or a girlfriend? Most of the guy was like, because I don't feel like having someone get on my nerves. And then this older white woman that's married, she just laughed and shit because she's like, yeah, that's true. So she posed like, so you think that a woman's good enough to be your woman, your girlfriend or wife, whatever like that? I was like, yep. Because I know what she's basically saying was her. So then she started explaining her situation. I'm like, you don't really have anything going on with you. The only thing you could basically offer is the fact that you could swing on chandeliers. I'm a lot older. I can see if I was, in my early 20s, that'd be a big deal. I'd rather play tennis at this point. Like, you're not selling me that. Like, bitch, you're in debt for one. You got a boyfriend that's basically, is in and out your apartment, is living with you. He's into some unsavory shit. So that's a problem right there. Then you got a kid. Then you're talking about you're not going to have another one. So for one, you have a kid, and then you're talking about you're not going to have another one. The arrogance. So you think someone's actually going to take you up because you have a fat ass and you're light skinned. You got some pretty soft hair or whatever like that. And I broke it down to her. I broke that assessment. I was like, yeah, but you're fluffy, and I see what you eat in the lunchroom. I look at what you put in your body. Reckless. You're reckless.
Damn, I see what you eat in the lunchroom. Damn. Yo, I'm gonna have to take some notes on Ice Turner level insults because I definitely got some ways to go. Like,
that would
You know, me personally, I just tell them the truth, which does hurt, but you know, if I want to add some extra spice to it, I definitely got to take some notes because you know, like, because real talk, like, there'd be parts of me that you know be holding myself back. I be holding myself back. I ain't gonna front, bro. Like,
It's more liberating when you just let it go, man. It's like biting into a York peppermint because you just say it and it's like, damn, that bitch. I remember this one girl said, and now this is another thing I do because you know, it's a young lady that you know interacts with me. I tell her about how I check other chicks in front of her. It's like, damn, you know, if somebody would have said that to me, I wouldn't be dating for 5-6 months. I'd be, you know, sitting back evaluating myself. You really said that to somebody? Like, yeah, why not? The fuck I'm gonna sit there and restrain. Like if I don't like something, then I'm gonna say it. See something, I'm gonna say it. You know,
yeah, exactly.
her feelings are not my responsibility. You present some shit to me, that's not my responsibility either. But it is my responsibility to let you know exactly what I think about that. Like that ain't gonna work over here. We ain't jacking that.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
yeah. He said that's true. He said yo, yeah, Top different. Top different too with it. I forgot Top.
Me personally, bro, I just be on the wave, man. I just tell chicks to kill themselves.
Yo.
Like I just be like, man, you know what you can do right now? You can you know you can get to the highest building in the city and just jump off, because maybe then you'll matter to somebody.
Mm. He said maybe. Damn.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is stuff I want to say to chicks, bro. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I'm like me personally. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even stoop that low. But real talk, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I said some shit. This is probably the most. I think to me, this might have been the most harsh thing. I think it was one of the girlfriends I had. Might have been early 30s. And I used to always say this to her in the middle of a disagreement. I said, "This is the reason why you'll never get married." And I was her boyfriend.
Damn,
That cut like a surgeon.
man. I got one for you. Like in a situation like that, you should have been like, damn. If I was a woman, I would even touch you. Like if I was a gay woman, I would even touch you.
Damn. Oh yeah,
It
right here.
hurt.
Boom, boom. Right here. So when you insult chicks, you also expose Sims. Exactly. Because you expose the other guys that's in her face. The 30, 40 guys that's pandering and hot nosing her all throughout the day to get her number, to take her out on a date, to do certain shit for her. And you like they're saying more than enough. They put her on a pedestal. And you know, she comes home to you and you're just like, you're not even good enough. To even fucking breathe my air. Like why the
Yo,
fuck are you here?
that's true. That's true. Because like another thing you can also do is just tell a chick the truth.
Mm,
Like when you tell women the truth, well,
mm-hmm.
they do take it like an insult. So you do also expose simps too by doing that.
There's a lot of her. Other shit that's not true. Or the total things is catering. So that's what originally what they would think that what game is, which really is pandering. You're telling the woman a bunch of shit that is not true, but it's catering to the fantasy. You're playing into the fantasy of what she thinks she is versus you're telling her what she needs to know versus what she wants to hear. You know,
Exactly.
you're saying things to impress her instead of saying things that scare her, and what scares her is her own shame.
Yeah. I gotta amplify the shaming language. I ain't gonna front. I gotta do that.
Mm, mm,
Because I mean the truth's effective, but you know,
mm, mm. Yeah,
I definitely want to just destroy them. Like real
yeah.
talk.
You, it's like what Bruce Lee used to say, or where he taught. We used to teach in karate classes. When they throw a punch or a kick, you lean towards it. It takes away the effect of. So it's like if they bring up shaming things, they say certain things. Like if a chick calls you arrogant, chick calls you, oh yeah, well, you know, your mom is black. Some of the bullshit they say out there, they call you a fag. Of like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And what? You still sucked my dick yesterday.
Yeah, that's true.
And then what she had to say to that? She's finished. She's finished just like her life.
You know, I'll say in that situation, if she called me something like that, like, "Oh, you're gay," I'll be like, "Well, it sound like you sleep with gay niggas, and I'm gonna spread the rumors you got HIV."
Yep.
Man, kills that right there. Like,
Yep. Yep. What did they
oh,
really
how
have?
did you do that? I'm like, bro, because you told me, and I got you recorded. I'll say something stupid like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but real talk though, I know we're about to be 3 hours in. If you
Oh yeah,
guys
yeah,
have any last questions,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. We
I
got to
definitely
wrap it up.
gonna rest up because
Yeah, yeah.
I mean I was on 2 lives, man.
Oh yeah, it's a marathon. That's a marathon. But you know, the work is out there, man. You know, what I mean, you did a joint on Fantastic. Did the joint on here. We did a joint the other day. You know, the more material, the better. You know, and the thing is, again, there's no footnotes. There's nothing written down. You know, it's just straight flow. That's what's beautiful about it. That's what content
Exactly,
should be.
exactly. You know, like Top was saying, you know, it take 20 years for people to grasp, you know, what we're saying.
Yep.
You know, and I think, bro, sometimes they'll just never even get it then.
Mm-hmm. It's all right though, man. You know, there'll be a few that get it, and the few that get it, you know, will grow from it. You know, and you know that's what it's about. It's about planting the seed. As long as you plant the seed, you've done your job. As long as you do what you're supposed to do as a content creator, you know, everything else will take care of itself. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
Y'all tap into game 8. What's that?
I don't even know what that is.
Was that in reference to the serpent? I have to basically. I'm gonna give y'all a reloaded version of the Wise as the Serpent 9. I was a little bit under the weather, and there was still some aspects that I wanted to express. So I'm gonna give y'all a reloaded, you know, package for that. So look for that. Then I still have what else do I have? Um the spiritual warfare piece. I've had that on the shelf, and the 7 more ways of creating money. You know, it's just more so tapping into the attitude. And then going to be some other stuff. I've steered away from the roasting. There have been a couple people that have tried to pull me into that. Um, you know, and you know, word from the bigger ups that you know the bigger content creators just said, you know, it's bad against the algorithms, which you know I'm resistant because I'm in a different perspective. But you know, I'm more so like if if I might have to, you know, throw a spear or two. But other than that, you know, the main focus is putting out, you know, product that's going to help um, transform not only yourself but your circumstances and so forth. You know, that's just what I want to leave it at. That anyone has any more questions, please feel free. Oh, a video by Ice. I might do. I did the Mac DNA. I might do. I, yo, just popped up. This is a real good think piece. This is something I'm really. That might even be a book, possibly. I'm gonna do 50 Shades of Guidance.
I mean,
You know, it's been.
that sounds like a fire title. I ain't gonna
Mhm,
front.
mhm. Because everybody's talking about game, and I did that in the beginning, explaining game, you know, in a way that I know, um, and explaining it from the internal aspect first, then to everything else. When people talk about it's not on you, it's in you, but I'm really explaining it from how it's in you. to how it comes out of you, not how it works. But now I've graduated from that aspect to guidance, because guidance is more accountability. This is how you really get things done. You know, it's the difference between, you know, leadership by manipulation versus leadership by inspiration. You can inspire, you know, a woman to do the things that you need her to do. You can inspire the people to get behind you to do the things they needed to do versus, you know, manipulating them. You know, I'm going to break down the difference between those two.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But real talk, you know, I appreciate you fellas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I appreciate, you know, being on here, Ice. Appreciate
Indeed.
the
Respect.
people. Very, very interactive.
Indeed.
I definitely just,
Mm-hmm.
I just think, I ain't gonna front. I think today was a good day. Like, I'm
Hell
glad
yeah.
I had the night off from work.
Mm-hmm.
I really am.
And subscribe to Man Cave's vlogging channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to Top Chakra's channel. Subscribe to Richard Authority's channel. Subscribe to TheOther Ray's channel if you haven't already. So we can get this movement going. Subscribe to Grown Man Business channel if you haven't already. You know, we gotta have real men. You know, real content, and you know, the truth being promoted. You know, in spite of what's going on. I'm not knocking what's going on. That's great. They got that going on, but the real stuff has to be in here.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, peace and prosperity to you, bro.
Definitely peace and blessings.
And oh yeah, Sunday, I'm trying to let me see. If you're available Sunday, I want to do embodying versus escaping. I hope I could get you and Rich Authority on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Say less. Ain't nothing but a word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now the thing is, bro, I would probably do it maybe Saturday night, but I'm not 100% sure as far as that. Just because like I could be on call for work. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like 50-50 on it. But
Okay.
definitely Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Sundays are weird for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do as far as
Okay.
that.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
man. I think this was a classic stream. Appreciate you
It's always
guys.
classic.
Man, we put out so many classics together, man. It's like it's almost second nature.
Exactly.
It's almost second nature,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So,
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
oh damn. See, I just got a text. I'm
What's that?
working Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do it Saturday, but I'll see
Okay.
what I can do for Sunday though.
Yeah. No worries. No worries.
But yeah, I appreciate you brothers for being on here. Thank you, Ice, for including me in the stream. Hope you
Indeed.
brothers have a good night.
Indeed. Blessings. Blessings to you, brother, and blessings to all y'all, man. And prosperity, and hope you receive more than you want. You know what I mean? More than you desire. You know what I mean?
Exactly.